All right, welcome to Soscast, the sexiest financial show on the planet. This is where finance meets romance, only here on Valuetainment, the #1 channel for entrepreneurs in the world. You know the deal. If you don't know, my name is Adam Sosnick. Everyone calls me Soz, and we're here for one reason. We want to help you men out there improve your status, improve your financial status, your relationship status. We want to help you win in life. What do we always say, Nat? We want to see you get paid, laid, and do it your way. Done. So all we do is bring in the best of the best of the best guests out there on the planet to serve you guys knowledge and drop game. Whether that's financial, whether that's relationships, whether that's life. My entire goal every single time we do one of those episodes is for you guys out there. There's going to be thousands and thousands and thousands of you watching this. Take one nugget and be like, damn, that just fucking changed my life. One nugget. We're not here to change every single facet of your life. One thing you can improve based on this episode. With that being said, let's meet our guest today. All right, so there's a lot of controversy around both these guests. A lot of clout, a lot of controversy, a lot of followers, a lot of fame. Welcome to the show. We got SNEAKO in the house, and we got Heather Lee O'Keefe, Miss USA contestant.
Yes.
Right? So let me introduce these guys properly. SNEAKO, YouTuber.
No.
Social commentator. Used to be a YouTuber.
Former YouTuber, now Rumbler.
Former YouTuber as of like...
The last free speech website on the internet, Elon Musk already sold out. He's saying Alex Jones is not going to return to Twitter. So Rumble's the last free place where we can really speak about what's going on.
So you're calling out Elon Musk.
Elon, I thought you were for free speech. If he was really for free speech, then Alex Jones would be back.
So you're doubling down on Alex Jones. That's where you're at.
I'm not doubling down. That's just inconsistent.
Gotcha.
It's not free speech.
So have you met Chris, the CEO of Rumble?
I have met him. Good
He's
guy.
a good dude. We've had dinner before. It's
yeah.
How do you feel about their platform?
It's on the way. It's on the way. It obviously needs some improvement. Everybody will say that. I'm not trying to like downplay it, but it's all the infrastructure's there to be the best website on the internet.
Gotcha.
I see a lot of potential.
So you don't miss YouTube at all?
Not at all.
Okay. So
well, I'm back. Hey, Susan.
Look at us right now on YouTube.
What's up, Susan?
Susan in the house. So, okay, former YouTuber, social commentator, comedian. Would you call yourself a comedian?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, and red pill advocate, red pill warrior?
See, when you talk about red pill, it can get misconstrued a lot. It's confusing to a lot of people what that really means.
Okay.
The analogy comes from the Matrix. It just means the truth. So
of course.
The red pill for a lot of people and for a lot of podcasts like this, I can see what you're talking about, adding value, talking about women, finance, stuff like that. It's the truth about how men need to earn for themselves and provide for themselves, and how sim culture is perpetuated into men's brains from birth, and Disney movies program women to be brainwashed. I think that's a surface level element of the red pill. I think when you really go down and when you try to figure out the truth, what I always followed is the most canceled people, the most censored people are usually telling the truth because they're trying to hide it. They don't want you to know. So if you really go down the red pill rabbit hole, there's guys like Nick Fuentes, and what's happening to him? He's gone down the red pill rabbit hole, and you see what happens. They get silenced, they get debanked, they get put on no-fly list. But I think that the tide is starting to shift on the internet, and I'm glad to be a part of it.
Got it. Well, I will double check my descriptions next time. I should not call you a YouTuber. I should call you a former YouTuber.
Former YouTuber.
And a
Rumbler.
A Rumbler. Okay, let's do
Does that sound good, Rumbler, or does that sound like a wrestler?
No, you got a little
A
scrap in
Rumbler?
you, SNEAKO. You got a little scrap.
Good.
To your left, beautiful girl right here, Heather Lee O'Keefe, Miss USA contestant, fighting out of Montana.
Yes.
Okay. You're also an attorney.
Not yet. I'm taking the bar in
You're
February.
taking the bar.
I have my Juris Doctor degree.
So you're a JD.
I'm a JD.
Okay. You're a legal tech consultant.
Yes, working
crypto advocate.
Kind of.
And also, much like SNEAKO here, not afraid to speak your mind.
Absolutely.
Okay. Do you get upset that people judge you by your looks?
No, I think it comes with the territory.
Okay. So here's what we're gonna do. We got a lot of stuff today. Actually, we're gonna do some reactions to a lot of videos. We're gonna have a conversation. We're gonna have some dialogue. We can debate. We'll have fun. By the way, we're drinking. I went with tequila. Heather, you chose vodka. I'm not gonna call people out, but one of the three of us was not gonna have a drink, and he succumbed to peer pressure.
They peer pressure me into it.
Peer pressure.
It's haram. I apologize.
Yeah,
all the Muslims
cheers,
watching.
guys.
Cheers.
This was not my choice.
Haram, as they say. So here's what we're gonna do. Let's just start off real casual, real cool. Why don't you just kind of tell us your story, 30 seconds, how you make your money and your relationship status. That's just the very basics. Lady, you would like to go first? Ladies first?
Sure. Well, I'm single.
Okay. Hey-o.
Hey. No, single. I'm working in legal tech consulting right now for an international data and analytics company as I'm studying for the bar. Hopefully be an attorney in these next few months, and I want to start my own law firm. I recently competed for Miss USA 2022 last month and went viral on TikTok after being the whistleblower on the organization and exposing the truth of what really goes on behind closed doors.
Whistleblower. We're going to discuss that.
What really goes on?
Sure.
Oh.
Hold on. We're going to get to that.
I'm sure we
Sneako,
will.
you're on my show, dog.
Sure
All right? Let me ask the questions here. You give the good remarks, okay?
Okay.
All right.
More questions.
Sneako, tell us your story. You just moved down here from Miami. I mean, from New York to Miami.
Right.
Relationship status, financial status. Let's hear your background.
Relationship status is private. So, hey.
All of them. Hey.
How you doing? But I've learned that it's better to keep stuff like that private from the internet. It's just better to not show that to the world of crazy people. Financial status, I make
How
money
you make your money, yeah.
through content creation, through my side businesses. I have a couple online businesses, and I have a course called The Creativity Kit. It's thecreativitykit.com, and I have a network of people who learn how to make money online through talking to a camera, behind the scenes, through anything to get out of the matrix and to start making money independently on your computer.
The Matrix, that's a term I'm very familiar with. We've done a whole entire interview, a 5-hour sit down with Tate talking about the Matrix.
That was very good.
Thank you, brother. Shout out to Tate. Texted me today. He had some eye surgery that I guess had an issue with. I don't know if I'm putting him on blast, but if you're watching, brother, hope you're doing well. You familiar with Andrew Tate?
I've heard of him.
Okay. Well, you're going to hear a little bit more about him today. Sneako, I just got to press you a little bit. You talk a lot about relationships. I asked you if you have a relationship status. You're like, want to keep that private. So between me and you, blink once if you've got a girl.
He's not blinking.
Well, girl singular, girl plural.
Blink how many girls you have. How about that? Just do it like that. Only I can see you, right?
Oh, no.
I blinked a lot for the camera. The camera didn't see, but
Just
I was
between him
blinking a lot.
and I, there was a lot of blinking right there.
Yeah.
Well, from one gentleman to another, I'm blinking a lot for you right there. Okay.
All right.
Respect. So, and last but not least, I feel like remiss to not introduce the co-hostess of the show, Miss Natalia Del Valle. She's so far from me, the
I'm
pretty
sorry.
lady in red.
It's okay, I'm here.
But Nat, how you feeling? What do you want the people to know? What you got?
I'm excited. Today's going to be a really good podcast. I will be reading all of the chats, so make sure you guys give us some good chats today. We have a great panel. And we're almost to 100,000, so make sure you guys subscribe and like the video, and let's get this party started. Happy Friday, everyone.
Let's get this party started.
Happy
Yes.
Friday.
Thank you. Happy Friday. That's awesome. So let's get this thing going right now. So cancel culture is a real thing these days, okay? You talked about Tate. We were the first network media company to sit down with Tate after he got canceled. We've sat down with Alex Jones. We've sat down with many controversial figures, political figures, CIA, FBI, UFC people, athletes. We just had Antonio Brown talk about getting canceled. We're no stranger to controversy. So anyway, Sneako, you're familiar with this. Heather, you're familiar with this. So look, this was an article that we looked at. We just Googled Sneako, right? Nat?
Yes.
The article that you're going to pull up is what?
Right here.
Boom. Controversial streamer Sneako has been banned from YouTube. This is why you're no longer a YouTuber and now a Rumbler,
Also
right?
banned on Twitch, Twitter, and TikTok.
Gotcha.
Elon
So-
has yet to reinstate me.
So
But you have Instagram, right?
Instagram, thank you, Zuck.
Zuck, so that's your boy.
Shout out to Zuck.
That's your boy right now.
I don't know about
Nobody's
that.
boy is Zuck other than Sneako's. He might see this.
He might be a lizard, but I still
That's true.
thank you for
Might be.
not deleting
So
it.
YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, deplatformed. You did a live stream with Nick Fuentes, who's allegedly, I'm using air quotes, white supremacist. I have no
He's
thoughts
not.
on that.
He's not.
Yeah, I know a black friend of his that was pitching me on
Who,
interviewing
Bryson?
him. What's that?
Bryson?
Yeah, thicker guy.
Yeah,
Yeah, good kid. The video was shown at Congress. It's some Senate
Yeah,
committee
it was
here.
my stream. My stream was
That's what I'm
played
saying.
in the Senate
Which
committee.
is that's very weird.
They're afraid of him.
They're afraid of
The
Nick.
government is afraid of Nick Fuentes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But on the other hand of it, allegedly a bunch of people, major YouTubers, apparently reached out to you and kind of warned you, like, yo, bro, you're kind of playing with fire here right now. Your boys, Abba and Preach. KSI, Jadion.
Well, they're sellouts. I mean, they don't want to really talk about the truth. They would like to have their platforms and be safe, but I want to get to the truth, and it's fine if they can't handle talking to him. And I had them on panels with Nick, and they were fine. They were laughing along. They were enjoying the conversation. But afterwards, I don't want to talk to him anymore. I don't want to. They don't even have any valid reasons. It'll just be like, oh, he said the N-word one time, whatever. That doesn't automatically mean
about
you're racist.
You or about Nick?
But Nick, they don't want to associate
Gotcha.
with Nick. I mean, a lot of people are afraid to talk to him because they realize when they start talking to him, they start nodding their head and agreeing like, oh, am I agreeing with a Nazi? And they don't like to question their already set beliefs. That's cancel culture doing its job. Nick is under an investigation by the FBI, and he's never committed a crime. He's on a no-fly list, and he's not a criminal.
Yeah, but I literally don't care about Nick. I care about you. You're here today. You're not here to defend
Well, I'm
Nick.
saying,
like,
I associated with him, and that was a big reason why I was deplatformed and canceled, and why people...
you're saying that's the reason?
That was a big reason. That was
having a conversation with an allegedly white supremacist.
I had
Do you think that is the reason that you were canceled?
It was part of it. There's many reasons. I had 3 strikes. It was election misinformation, COVID misinformation, and cyberbullying and harassment. And 2 of those were from talking to Nick.
Gotcha.
And
so
those are
election
the same
misinformation, COVID misinformation, cyberbullying.
And election misinformation.
And election misinformation.
That was for all platforms or just...
That was YouTube strikes. Twitch was just because they didn't like me. They had absolutely no reason to ban me. Twitter was because violence, and TikTok, I don't know.
Okay.
But
got it.
All wiped in a week.
So, but you said 3 strikes, bro.
Yeah.
So you were warned, 1 strike, 2 strike, 3 strikes, you're out. Apparently, Abba and Preach reached out to you. KSI reached out to you. This is what I'm seeing out there.
Yeah.
Feel free to answer this. Essentially, they were warning you. I don't know. I wasn't there in the room. But they were warning you, yet you doubled down on it. So, are you not scared of controversy? Are you running
double
towards
down
it?
on what? You're saying they warned me like, yes, of course they want to censor the truth. Of course they don't want me on their platform. Of course I'm growing faster and I'm waking a lot of people up and they need to delete it. But warn me of what do they expect me to do? Switch up the content, become a liberal? Do FIFA videos and eat chocolate like KSI, or just sit in a room with Preach and fucking feel like the moral superiority while they look at stupid videos on it's just it's garbage. It's garbage content. I didn't want to make that.
So where do you stand on free speech? Should you be able to say anything? Anything.
Everything.
What about inciting violence?
It depends what you consider inciting violence, because I think what happened on January 6th, for example, they deleted Trump for saying that was inciting a riot, and he never even said one time to storm the Capitol. It's like, oh, well, he encouraged it with his demeanor. That's stupid. You should not be able to determine that easily what's inciting violence or not. I don't think Trump is responsible for January 6th, and that's how they were able to get him off social media.
But you must admit, dude, I'm a big free speech guy. We have a media company here. We've had strikes talking about things, right? Yeah. You've had some controversy, which we're going to address in a second.
Yep, I've had warnings on TikTok.
Of course,
I think
you've had some warnings.
close to getting kicked off.
Okay, so you've experienced this.
Absolutely.
We've had this issue here. But these are the types of situations that, we have a media company. Look at the size of this room here.
Yeah, so it's a great studio.
Yeah, and we've got a bigger one, a mile away. We have 100 people that work for the company almost. So meaning we have to have meetings, brother. This is the difference between being a solopreneur and working for a company. We have to say, hey, look, we have a certain set of beliefs. We believe this is the truth. But what's more important? Us doubling down on the quote-unquote truth, because we don't know. There's a difference between what you think and what you know. But the point is this. We have to sit down with Patrick Bet-David, our CEO, our CFO. We have to say, hey, look, what's more important? Us exposing the truth or us not getting deplatformed? And if we do get deplatformed, how many channels get taken away? How many subscribers do we lose? Right. How many people lose jobs? So that's something that, accountability-wise, if it's just you, brother, I get it. You're like, fuck it, it's just me, I'm doing it. Versus an entire company. So we've had these conversations. Don't get me wrong. We're advocates
I understand.
of truth.
I see what you're doing, and we probably agree on a lot of these issues. And there's a difference between compromising a little bit in order to stay and have your platforms and be able to reach a lot more people that you aren't able to reach without the major platforms.
Yeah.
And there's also making videos like KSI, or just completely selling out, completely pushing bullshit liberal woke agenda because you get canceled once and you get afraid. There's a difference between just doing exactly what Susan is telling you to do, or compromising a little bit, which
Susan
is what I think
the
you're
CEO of
doing.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay. Who is obviously owned by Alphabet, Google.
Yeah.
You said that you've been warned by.
Yeah. What did you do?
By. Well, here let me frame the situation for you
Okay.
to give you some props. So, in the spirit of misinformation and conspiracies. You know, a lot of conspiracy theorists are just conspiracy theorists, and so it turns out to be motherfucking kind of true. You know, the system being rigged, what have you. You had some controversy, Natalia, of when you were running for Miss USA, correct? So here's an article right here, if we can scroll in a little bit. Beauty queen blasts predetermined Miss USA pageant, says contestants were treated like puppets. So, you know, when I sat down with Andrew Tate, by the way, do you know who Andrew Tate is? Do you, like, if I showed you an image, let's just get a Google image of him. He said this, and this is where I'll tee it up for you guys. He said, hey, look, if there were two teams playing basketball, right? You've seen this guy before, right? Get her an image.
Yeah, I think I've heard of him.
Wow, incredible. Living under a rock.
Really, you're on TikTok and you've never seen it?
No, I
Holy
mean,
shit.
I go on TikTok just to post my videos. I don't really.
You're one of those girls. Post, I'm out.
Yeah, I don't
I hear
really
you.
take
I do the same thing on
content
Instagram.
in.
By the way, on Instagram, if I haven't replied to your DM, because I rarely check them, I know I need to improve on that. But here's my point. He gave an analogy. Controversial figure, also very
I know that
smart,
much. I know
informed.
he's controversial,
Yes.
but I know
Got
he's
it.
like misogynistic or something like that. That's
Allegedly,
That's
right?
about all I've heard.
That's amazing.
That's
That's
it.
great. Like, you're not living that life. I hear you. You're focused on winning beauty pageants. I get it. But he gave an analogy, and this is where I want to kind of tee it up to you guys. He said, hey, listen, if two teams are playing basketball, no referee, and you said the winner of this basketball game, there's no referees, wins $10,000, okay? Do you think there'd be a little bit of cheating going on? Of course. You're not going to call a foul here. Maybe you don't call a travel. Basketball analogy, right? You're a basketball player?
No,
What's
but
your sport?
I see what you're saying. It's a good
Gotcha.
analogy, yeah.
Thank you. Well, it's Tate. He says, if people are willing to cheat in a freaking intramural basketball game, what are people willing to do in elections? Okay?
Careful, careful.
This is me summarizing, not my opinion. But it wasn't a basketball game, it wasn't an election, but this was a Miss USA, okay?
Yeah.
God bless the freaking USA. They're producing beautiful girls like this. Anyway, you allegedly said, or you said that you thought that Miss USA pageant was rigged.
And not only me, let me just put that out there. I'm
Yeah.
the only one really outspoken about it, but there's at least 40 other contestants out of 51 who are on my side and agree with me.
40 out of 51.
I would say at least the majority of the girls who I competed against, we're all very close. We're all in a group chat and we text pretty much every day. They all agree that they think this was predetermined.
So there's a Miss USA group chat.
There is.
That sounds like the hottest group chat
Can you
on
add
the
me to
freaking
that?
planet. Like, I don't know.
What's the
Heather,
invite?
Can I
Very
join?
exclusive.
I don't know if we can get in on this, but maybe SNEAKO and I buy you guys some drinks, and maybe we can kind of get on this text thread. But that sounds pretty. So, what is actually being said behind the scenes in this text thread with 40 plus Miss USA contestants? What are they actually saying?
We're all really struggling with the fact of Miss USA just being like 2 months ago, and we're not receiving any kind of help from the Miss Universe organization in regards to all the bullying we're getting in regards to speaking out on this. So if you don't know, there's a former Miss USA who recently took her own life. It's thought because of all the hate that comes with competing in pageants.
Jesus.
So as, you know, a person competing in this organization, you would think that after that, and not only that, they should have been doing this all along, providing resources to make sure that we're all okay, but they don't care about us. They say that they're giving, actually pull it up. There was just an article that came out a couple days ago saying that they're not giving us the resources that they promised us.
But there's a difference between resources and them not caring and rigging a pageant.
Oh,
So
there's
what
a lot.
evidence-
I mean, there's so much.
Yeah,
We could spend the
what
whole 2
evidence do you
hours
have?
on this.
So we interview a lot of FBI, CIA, political figures. This is what we do. I mean, in addition to entrepreneurs and just a whole host of people. We interview people that have stories to tell. And I'll never forget, I sat down with Philip Mudd, okay? He's a former FBI, CIA agent. He's all over the news. He's on CNN a lot, pundit. And he goes, listen, in the CIA world, there's what you think and what you know. And what you know is based on facts and what you can prove. And what you think is just based on stories. My friend told me, I think, well, I heard. So, like, regarding your story, what do you know? to be true, not what you think.
I know that I had an Instagram live the day after the Miss USA pageant that had more views than the actual pageant itself, where I went on, I don't want to call it a rant, but I just kind of exposed my experience at Miss USA the day before and the week leading up to it. I had a couple other girls come on the live with me and share their experience as well. I know that Miss Colorado USA was not on the Cancun trip with us, and neither was Miss Texas, who ended up winning the competition. Texas, the girl who won, got her own private trip to Cancun, but Lexi, Miss Colorado, didn't. So there's like all this drama. There's so much drama surrounding it. I don't even know where to begin. But I do know that after my Instagram live, I caught wind of, or the Miss Universe organization president caught wind of it. She tuned in and had a town hall meeting with all of us contestants the next day to kind of hear our grievances. And they've been meeting with us once a week since then. They hired a top 50 law firm to do a full formal investigation. So this is legit. It's not just a bunch of pageant girls butthurt that they didn't win.
Gotcha.
There's a full investigation
Here's
going
how
on
I'm
right now.
processing this, and then I want to get Sneako's opinion here. I don't have a horse in this race. I mean, the only horse I want in this race is maybe Sneako and I get added to that text chain.
Not
That's all I'm
happening.
looking for at this point. However, some may say, hey, she does have a valid point, right? Like, I don't know, you can't trust the big this, you can't trust big pageant, big tech, big pharma, big pageant. Like, there's money in this, right? That's one thing, right? They sort of like, trust but verify kind of a thing. On the other side of things, I'm sure there's guys that are saying, put 50 hot chicks in a room, 51 chicks. You don't think there's going to be frickin' drama? Like 3 girls go to my apartment last night. There's drama there. Now you're putting 50 hot chicks in a room? Holy shit. There's got to be drama around that. I mean, you must agree. I mean, you're on Fresh and Fit all the time. You're around chicks all the time. You get 10 girls on Fresh and Fit. How much drama is there? It's chaos.
It's chaos. No leadership. They need someone to tell them what to do.
Okay, so do you want to weigh in on what you think she's
Yeah,
saying?
right. You said 41 out of the 50 said that it was rigged.
I would say at least. I mean, I don't have an exact
I
number.
mean, how many
but
winners are there?
There's one winner. Miss
So, I
USA,
mean-
there's only one girl.
What I've learned from several nights of Fresh and Fit is that women don't like being wrong or being told that they're ugly. So, I mean, it's better to cope and say that we are being rigged, like this is rigged, than admit that they just lost. Do you think that's possible?
No. I mean, I understand where you're coming from, and a lot of people are saying the same thing, but we have so much evidence that it was actually rigged. Miss Texas USA, she received more sponsorship than us. She received direct help from the judges. I mean, one of the judges was her personal sponsor. It was her plastic surgeon. I mean, come on. So there's a lot of...
I mean, what's the criteria? Just like the hottest girl wins?
No. I mean, it's very
Doesn't she
subjective.
always?
What do
It's
you
very
have to
subjective.
Oh,
It's-
is it?
do? Of course it's subjective.
Is it outer beauty plus inner beauty?
Absolutely. I mean, you have to
Right, it's
submit a
not just outer
resume.
beauty,
You
right?
have to do an interview with a judging panel. You have to be well-spoken and be a brand ambassador for the organization.
But ultimately, the hottest one wins.
Not always.
Not necessarily, because there's they still do the swimsuit pageant. Thank God. I don't know why they took that away for a few years. I mean, at the fucking very least.
Well, that's Miss America. Miss America took swimsuit away, but Miss USA kept it.
What's the difference between Miss USA and Miss America?
Miss USA goes to Miss Universe. Miss America has like the talent competition. So Miss USA is more of like the traditional beauty pageant that
Gotcha.
people think of. That goes to Miss Universe.
So, did you have a talent?
No, that's Miss America.
You don't have a talent?
I mean, I'm very talented.
What would
but
be
I
your
don't-
talent?
I used to dance.
Okay.
So I
Like hip hop dance, ballet, like booty dancing? What you got?
No, I was almost a Miami Dolphins cheerleader.
Hey-o,
Yeah,
okay.
then I had to choose between that or law school, and I picked law school. So I think
Smart move.
I made the right decision.
Nat,
there.
what would your talent be when you compete in Miss USA?
You don't need
Miss
to compete in
America.
Miss.
All right. Heather wants to hold me responsible. That I don't know the
Miss
fucking
America.
difference
We're
between
not
Miss
talking
USA and
about
Miss
Miss
America. A bunch of hot chicks walking on a stage. Nat, what would your talent be?
My talent would be to make you smile.
To make you smile.
Aw.
Okay.
You're smiling. Look,
that.
you're
Hey.
smiling. I didn't get Sneako, but I got everyone else.
Sneako
there
gave a
it
smirk.
is.
Sneako gave a smirk.
You got a little smirk in there.
Sneako, if you were
rigged
going to compete in Mr. USA, Mr. America, what would your talent be?
It would be quitting and doing something else. I don't know.
Just walk off stage,
I wouldn't.
mic drop?
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
Gotcha. I do stand-up comedy. I used to be a stand-up comedian, so
You're
me and
so
Nat,
funny.
maybe we do a little tag team out
We
there.
definitely.
Can you imagine competing with 50 guys on a stage to be the
That's like Mr. Olympia.
Yeah,
then.
I
Mr.
was gonna say they do
Olympia.
have that.
Isn't that
Our
Yeah,
good friend
that is
Phil
a thing.
Heath, he's won it, what, 7 times?
Yeah.
He's a badass. He's my homie. He's a good dude. But
what's
like,
your take on that? Do you think that's better than women doing it?
Are you're insinuating I'm misogynist?
No, not at all. I'm just asking.
No, I think they're both kind of weird.
Not personally, I just don't. Because you asked if it was like guys for like, you know, that would be Mr. Olympia.
I don't. Yeah, I think Mr. It's a little strange. Yeah. Mr. Olympia, like getting oiled up in a thong.
It's like a bodybuilding thing, right?
Yeah, it's essentially like being fit. I would assume.
It's not really about fitness; it's about aesthetics, because a lot of them are extremely unhealthy. But yeah, that's just a whole different world.
Right. Yeah, just a question.
But you were a model for a minute, weren't you?
Yeah.
You were a male model, so you get. I mean, dude, same thing. I mean, you get it, being sort of looked at as a piece of meat, right?
Yeah, I did it for money. It was
they all do, bro.
On the come up. I was 20, something like that. I mean, nothing I was proud of. I don't regret doing it, but it's just, you know, it was something I did. It's a job.
But you were a model for a while.
Yeah.
When you were 20. You're how old now? 24?
Yeah.
Okay, this is like 4 years ago. You're 24 as well?
25.
25. Are you a model as well?
I wouldn't consider myself a model. I mean, I've done modeling things before, but...
When's the last time you modeled?
It's been a couple of years.
Let's get some images. Let's see if we can find SNEAKO modeling. Can we do that?
I don't want to look at this.
All right, let's find some of these images of SNEAKO modeling. All right.
Okay, SNEAKO.
Scroll in a little bit. SNEAKO. Them abs. Okay, with the book bag. All right, player.
Yeah, that was Nike.
All right. You look really young right there.
Yeah. You got some action over there.
All right. The jumpsuit look.
That's not you.
That's definitely not SNEAKO.
That's me.
Yeah, that is you?
Yeah.
SNEAKO, what is that, brother? Hold on.
Yeah.
SNEAKO?
Put that on your dating
profile. Defend yourself right now.
Explain.
What is that? Explain.
Please.
Yeah, that's a corset or some shit. I don't know.
Looks like a crop top below.
Yeah, crop top.
This is on Google, dog.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. By the way, you're a male model. What's the quote that Drake says? Like, don't talk to me unless you've been in Vogue. So you were on Vogue. I saw a clip. Were you not?
I was in Vogue, yeah.
So how's that? I mean, you get it, bro. I mean, you get the
I take absolutely no pride from that at all.
Well, I would if you're wearing a corset. I feel you. I mean, but the other pictures, none?
Nah.
Gotcha.
You don't get any respect as a man for doing this.
I get it. Well, no, I disagree. At one point, I kicked it with Tyson Beckford. That guy got a lot of respect and a lot of ass.
Who?
Tyson Beckford?
I don't know.
Number
who that
one
is
male
either.
model. Jesus Christ, you guys, you Gen Zs out
Maybe
there.
I am
Tyson
living
Beckford,
under a rock.
one of the best looking dudes of all time, male model. Come on, guys.
Oh.
Go to the top right. I mean, let's just get to the. You don't know this guy?
I've probably seen him.
I've seen his face, but
Yeah,
I don't think he's the
looks
best
familiar.
looking.
Holy shit, you deal with a bunch of 24 and 25-year-olds. Okay, Tyson Beckford, we apologize, bro. Anyway, this guy lives in Miami. He crushes it. I mean, he got a lot of respect. Anyway, so you have the whole male modeling thing. Not anything you're proud of. You would never double down on that. You're done with that.
I mean, if I got paid, I would do it. I wouldn't wear some of the stuff. Like, I wouldn't put on the earrings and the bullshit anymore.
So, yeah, let's just talk wokeness
I mean,
for a second.
the whole modeling world is run by gay men. It's
correct.
They're in charge
Tom
of the
Ford,
fashion industry.
right?
Yeah, they're all gay. And that's something that I wasn't aware of going into it. I'm like, okay, I was just going to do this. But when you realize, like, what they're in, like, they're all kind of Harvey Weinstein-y.
Yeah.
Just gay.
So, like, you're not one to shy away from controversy. You talk your mind.
Yeah.
And even in something like this, you're like, it's kind of cringy. Like, is it just like, all right, that was the past. I don't want to, I'm not avoiding it. It's Googleable, but it's like not something that you're like, yeah, Ruth, I did it. Like,
well, it's here. I mean, it's there.
Exactly.
It's not going anywhere.
Right.
So.
But the whole Harvey Weinstein-y, the gay men, like wokeness, you know, you're wearing a corset, earrings. Is that maybe some of the reason you're like, dude, fuck that. I did that for a second. I mean, not that you did that. I'm just saying you were in that world, and now you're like, yeah, hard right.
What's the question?
Meaning, like, you were in that world, in the gay world, modeling, you know, like you said, it's
in
all
the
gay
gay
men.
world?
Well, you said it. I'm using your words, brother. Is that why you're, like, so against that type of ideology at this point?
I'm not against it. What do you mean?
Like the woke left liberal agenda, LGBTQ.
No, I've always been against it. I've always been aware that it's brainwashing, but this is not the reason. I've always been. I mean, I voted for Trump in 2016, I've been speaking about how feminism is brainwashing since I was making Call of Duty videos.
Yeah, but in 2016 you were doing this.
No, 2016 I was in high school.
Okay, so right after that, so even crazier, a couple years after you voted for Trump, you were still dressing like that, meaning like it's almost called like cognitive dissonance. You're like, yeah, I hate this shit, but I'll put a dress on.
It's not a dress.
Corset, my bad.
Is that what that is?
Yeah,
Corset?
that looks like a
Corsets,
corset.
Nico.
It looks like a corset.
I'm just asking, like, you're familiar with
You're trying to say that the stuff I talk about is invalid because
I'm not
I've
saying
modeled?
invalid.
No.
I'm not saying it. Dude, I'm not even trying you right now.
Okay.
I'm not questioning you. I'm just saying if I was forced, me, Adam, if I'm forced to put on a corset and I'm very uncomfortable with that, it's not like you're proud of this. You're like, yeah, I kind of don't want to talk about it. It's not. But if I did have to do that, now I would be very against that and be like, yeah, these fucking woke liberal fucking da-da-da-da.
No, I was thinking it the whole time. I knew that the whole time.
As you were wearing it, you
Yes.
were, okay,
I'm like,
that's what I'm asking.
This is cringe.
Got you.
This is not fun.
Gotcha.
Yes.
So in the moment, you're like, ugh, I really fucking hate this, but got to get paid.
Yes.
So there's a difference between short-term and long-term thinking, right? Short-term, you're like,
No,
I
was thinking long-term as well, but I'm also thinking at the same time, like if people talk down on this, just like I'm a guy getting paid for what I look like. You know, it's not really that much to be disappointed about.
Gotcha. You answered the question. In the moment, you're like, I hate this. Meaning, what I was asking was, I was doing it, it's okay, but now that I'm out of it, I look back and fuck that. But in the moment, you're like, yeah, I really am not proud of doing this, but I got to make some money. You understand the difference is what I'm asking right now, right?
Not quite, but no.
In the moment, you felt uncomfortable.
Yes.
It's not like 5 years later, you're looking back and being like, what I did there that I was comfortable with, turns out I think is a very weird situation. In the middle of it, you were weirded out.
Yes.
That's all I'm asking.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's kind of how I feel about Miss USA too. Looking back,
Yes.
I was uncomfortable. Would I do it again? No.
Okay.
But I think it was a great experience, and I know that a lot of girls would kill to be in those shoes. So I'm sure like a lot of other guys wish they could be a model as well, but they don't know the backstory of what really goes on in the industry. So that's something that I'm trying to do. Speaking out on TikTok and all these things that I'm being outspoken about is to show these girls what they're really getting into, because I used to be one of them. Oh my God, I want to compete at Miss USA. That looks so cool.
Yeah.
But they don't know what really goes on behind those closed doors.
Here's all I'll say to this, and then we'll move on. I tell this to girls all the time. We could talk about feminism. We could talk about masculine. I say this all the time. I said, you know, a lot of there's a stat out there, we quoted fucking every show, 45% of women ages 25 to 40, but by 2030 are going to be non-married, no kids, single, you know, 2 cats at home, right? Meaning they've been fed this feminist agenda, right? This third wave feminist agenda. You know about this, Nico, very well, I'm sure. About like, you don't need no man, do your thing, boss babe, CEO, make your money. And then it turns out they start having regret when they're 40, 45. And what I say is, why don't you go talk to women who are currently 40? Why don't you go talk to people who have gone down that path and kind of do some due diligence and do some research? Like anytime I do an investment deal, like I have a whole fund that I do, before I do a deal with somebody, it's called due diligence. So whether it's SNEAKO doing male modeling, whether you do modeling, it's like I would go talk to people who have already kind of walked the runway, so to speak, and be like, so what's it really like behind the scenes, right? But that's, like, did you do that before you started modeling? Did you do that? Like you said, well, I didn't know what I was getting myself into. Well, isn't that on you, Heather? To like, why don't you go talk to somebody who's already competed in Miss USA? Why don't you talk to somebody that's walked the runway? Do you see what I'm asking here?
Yeah, and I do. And the thing with pageants is it's changed and it's ever changing because it keeps getting bought out by a new company. So we can look at years past, but it's not going to be the same because it's a new owner now. And that's the difference. So even girls that had competed before, it would be a different experience for them because it's a different venue, different owner, different leadership. So it's run different. So it's really comparing apples to oranges.
Has it really changed that much?
It has. I mean, the new owner came in and allegedly her husband sexually harassed girls. You can look that up and pull that article up. So
I'm not trying to get me too right now on my own show here.
No,
yeah. So it's just a lot of drama going on with that organization right now.
Final thoughts on this topic, or you want to move on?
I mean, it's there. It exists.
You're saying your picture's online?
Yes.
Yeah, the ladies out there, gentlemen out there, the internet always wins. The internet is forever. I talk to OnlyFans girls all the time. We had, the 2 girls the other day?
Yes.
2 girls, 1 blunt. Shout out to you girls.
Yay.
Internet lives forever. Like, you tweet some shit that's racist, negative, whatever, I'm not saying you should be canceled, but you might not get a job because you did tweet, you know, you might. Anyway, we get it. Let's move on. We recently had a friend of yours on the show, Jordan Welch, right? Would you classify him as a friend?
Yeah, as a close friend.
Okay, he's a close friend. Good dude. We had a great time on the show.
Him in the chat right now. He's saying free SNEAKO.
He's in the chat?
Did.
Well,
Yeah,
Jordan, respect to you. Nat. So he got into sort of a controversy with Andrew Tate, who we had just did an interview with in September. Jordan was on my show in October. And he basically sort of did a critique, some call it a hit piece, on Andrew Tate's The War Room. Andrew Tate responded it while you were in, I believe, Romania at the time.
I was on Tate's speech, yeah.
On Tate's speech, exactly. So we're going to play you a couple clips, get your thoughts on it. And Heather, I know you're not like in this world, but feel free to weigh it. So here's what Jordan and I discussed. Shout out to you, Jordan. Go ahead. You're
Audio.
known as a chill dude, bro. I mean, we've spent a little bit of time together, but a lot of people have very nice things to say about you, people I've spoken to about you. So why did you want to start this internet drama with the top G, Andrew Tate?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, look, I'll preface it by saying that, you know, I respect Andrew and what he's built. You know, he's a great man from what I see, and he has a good message to share with the people. I wanted to create an objective review of this product because nothing on the internet had existed. This was a product that I was genuinely interested in, The War Room. And if you go to YouTube, there are 0 reviews about the product. So I'm a YouTuber. I saw this as an opportunity to fill that gap and also join this mentorship, this network that seemed interesting to me. And I showed the whole process on the video. For me, it was underwhelming. For what it is hyped up to be, for the value that it is marketed as, once I got inside there, I did not feel as if it lived up to the expectations.
Cool.
And
So
that's what I...
He showed this thing on there. To be fair to Jordan, he did show another person who did have better things to say about the War Room. The reason I'm bringing this up to you is because you're kind of in the middle of it, not this, but you kind of got caught in the crossfire here.
Yeah, I reacted to this on my stream on Rumble.
Okay.
I don't think that Andrew saw the video. I think that he heard it was a hit piece, and I think it was getting lumped in with all the people that were making negative videos about him at the time.
Yeah.
I think if he saw it, he would think differently about it, but also I understand that Jordan was going into a secret organization, as they call it, and leaking it to some extent, which is completely against the whole premise of the War Room.
Right.
So I understand why they're upset, but I think the video was well made, and I don't think that Jordan had bad intentions making the video. I think he genuinely wanted to give a good review on it, and it was honest.
I agree. I don't think he had bad intentions. Let's see Tate's response, which you were sitting at the room when he responded with our good friend Justin Waller and our boys Fresh and Fit. Go ahead.
Andrew, what's your thought on SNEAKO's friend Jordan Welch doing a hit piece on the War Room? So there was a guy who joined the War Room and did a hit piece video on it. Obviously, everyone knows he's full of shit. When you join any kind of organization, if you think you can just pay a membership fee and then you're instantly going to have access to all the secrets of that organization and the absolute top tier of that organization, you're just going to jump to the top of the hierarchy because you've paid an entrance fee, then that organization has no value. It doesn't matter what you join in the world.
Anyway,
whether it's
so
a company.
that's his response. Was that pretty awkward for you? This was your first time meeting Tate, I assume?
I met him a couple days before, but yeah.
Like, I mean, this
Yes.
trip, your first time sitting Tate, I assume Fresh and Fit were like, yo, we're going, come with us. I assume they kind of look at you as like a little brother. I assume, Myron and Fresh.
Sure, yeah.
Right? I mean, they're in their 30s, you're 24. I'm just doing math here, bro. Tate, 35, his brother, you know, year younger. Waller's closer to my age. But you're there. You're like the young buck in the room, and he says, what are your thoughts on Jordan Welch's friend SNEAKO hit piece on the War Room? You were kind of in the middle. Was it awkward? Did you feel the need to defend?
It was awkward, and
Yeah.
I think I played it correctly, and I think I was being vetted the whole time on the trip. They were trying to make sure if I was like, who's this TikTok kid?
Yeah.
Like, why are they here? And then the video dropped while I was there, but I think I played it fine.
Yeah.
It was an uncomfortable situation because
Yeah,
I didn't know.
Thank
Like,
you for being real, by the way. If you're like, no, it didn't bother me at all. It's like, okay, homie, your friend just called out Tate while you're sitting in front of Tate. So yeah, I appreciate the realness. So why was it awkward though?
I guess because if you watch back this Tate speech, there's this kind of sense, and Andrew has this aura, like people are kind of almost competing to solidify themselves as like a real G.
Yeah.
Like in this room, everyone's like, yeah, like I'm the shit. But I feel like when I was on this, I was mostly asking questions and trying to learn because they're much older than I am. But it was uncomfortable because I felt everyone thinking like, is this SNEAKO guy? Is he a snake? Is he gonna snake us too? like Jordan.
By the way, you just said something very powerful. Number one, you did handle yourself well there, and they even said that they vetted you and that they actually went back and watched a lot of your videos, and they realized you're just not this fly-by-night dude who just showed up. They actually was like, no, he's been talking about this type of content for a while now, so it's not like you're trying to clout chase, right? Swagger jack. But you also said, I did a lot of listening there because these are older, more successful guys. You said that, right?
Right. A lot of people are not able to do that because they can't separate their ego. And when they hear somebody who's more accomplished or more successful, they immediately put up the defense mechanism and they say, this is the reason why I'm not, oh, they just must have got daddy's money, or they got lucky with the crypto pump. People will make excuses to not listen to advice. But I understand when I'm in a room of more accomplished people, and the most valuable use of my time is listening rather than trying to speak up.
This is where I want to pause the show for a second and just get real for a second. This is so powerful what SNEAKO just said. You went to college?
Yes.
Okay.
And law school.
You went to law school. I mean, you did 6 years plus, 7 years plus.
7 years.
Did you go to college at all?
I dropped out.
You dropped out, but you took one class in college?
2 years of film school.
What was your most memorable class?
One of the film classes.
Okay.
Watching movies.
What was your most memorable class?
Sports journalism.
Awesome. Nat, what was your most memorable class?
Oceanography.
Oceanography. All right, I took however many fucking classes. I went to Florida State. Shout out to Seminoles out there. I don't remember any classes I took. I remember one class. The class was called listening. Oh. And all you have to know with this listening class is you've got 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. And that if you ever read the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, you have to actually genuinely care about what people are saying. I say this all the time. I made money in finance. I've made money in nightlife. I've done a thing. I do social media. I do a bunch of things. More than anything, I'm a networker. And the key to networking and acquiring friends and contacts is actually genuinely giving a shit about what people are saying and knowing when to talk and when to listen. So the reason I bring this up, when I think SNEAKO made such a powerful point here, is I wrote this down the other day. I'm sitting with a bunch of friends, and we're having a conversation. And the guy that I'm talking to he's a very famous guy. You would know the name if I said NBA player. You can Google him. He's probably worth 50+ million bucks. Me, I'm worth a couple $1 million bucks. Not so bad. All good. So this is what I wrote. I said, listen more than you talk. I said, some people don't want to listen. They just want to talk. All right. I am having a conversation with a guy worth 50 million bucks. I'm worth a couple $1 million bucks, and I'm trying to learn from him. He's teaching me about real estate investing. I'm listening. Meanwhile, I have my broke friend over here who's sitting there, who is full on paycheck to paycheck, broke as fuck. I've lent him money, and he wants to tell us his principles on money. And I'm thinking the whole time as he's interrupting, I'm like, would you just shut the fuck up? And I go, you have $0 in the bank account. Why don't you just shut the fuck up and listen? And that, my friends, is modern day internet culture. Everyone wants to give their little Twitter finger, comments. People want to make hateful comments. People want to talk shit because you have access to it now. You didn't have access to it back in the day. You have access to it now. Oh, let me not listen and absorb what people are talking about. Let me not actually listen to what SNEAKO is saying. Let me not hear what Heather is saying. Let me just chime in with my 2 cents because I want to be heard. I'm a kindergartner and I want to talk. Shut the fuck up. And this is how I felt in the moment, okay? So you have 0 accomplishments, yet you want to tell someone worth $50 million what they should do with their money. That's internet culture today. So when SNEAKO, you say, yeah, like I'm in this room with Andrew Tate, Tristan Tate, Justin Waller, fresh and fit. Let me shut up, ask a couple questions, and learn. Is that not how you were processing that entire situation?
That's the only role that I could have played there. What am I going to tell them? Mm-hmm. I'm going to give them advice. I don't know shit.
And is it humbleness? Is it just in your DNA to want to learn?
I just value my time, and that was the best use of my time right there was to ask questions and to learn, to absorb, and to be the translator for Gen Z, I guess, because everybody else in there is like talking about their accomplishments of what they've done. I'm still young and on my way, so I could be the person to translate that message for the youth that are quick to dismiss somebody more accomplished because they don't know how to separate their ego. And I think that's why I've done really well on TikTok reacting to this type of content and talking about these issues, is I could translate a message that people will miss because they don't want to hear somebody older than them.
Yeah, I fully agree with that. The reason that I even started my money show is because, so my mentor is Patrick Bet-David. If you don't know who it is, we can show a picture of him. This guy's worth hundreds of $1 millions. Awesome dude. You know, good looking, successful, tall, G, you know, manly, but also a good dad, like, you know, serious, but also can joke around. Total G. There's Pat right there. I don't know if we can scroll in a little bit.
Yes.
I mean, you're familiar with Pat, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So more often than not, I play my role. I'm the number 2 guy. I'm there to feed, you know, Pat questions, learn. I did that for 2 years. Now I'm being more vocal. I'm kind of developing my voice. But I think it's so important to have someone you're a mentor to, or that you're being mentored by. And when they talk, it's just listen. Just listen. So for you, Heather, you're surrounded by beautiful women, Miss USA, right? What's the metaphor there? Like, does every girl just kind of want to be like, you know, listen to me, watch me, like, pick me kind of girl? Is it harder in that world because you're all similar age? Like, how does it work in the female dynamic?
Yeah, actually, that's not the first thing that came to my mind whenever you kind of brought up this topic. What it was is this also applies to the modern day dating scene. And whenever we were talking before the show officially started on, you know, what are the issues in today's dating world, is that these guys, I go on these dates and they just talk about themselves the whole time and don't ask me a single question or try to get to know me. So I would say that also applies in other areas of life as well. Dating, getting to know people. It's, yeah, of course, I want to get to know you, but get to know me as well. It's a two-way street.
So you're on a date. You're a beautiful girl, accomplished, sweet, feminine, and these guys just want to sit there and brag, not ask you questions? Explain that.
Yeah.
So I made my money in sales, okay? I told you, like, more than anything, I'm a networker. And I read a book back in the day called QBS, Question-Based Selling, right? So I grew up watching movies like Boiler Room or Wall Street or even Wolf of Wall Street, where it was all just, hey, this is why you need to buy, follow me, watch this is going on, this is what you need to do. And what I've learned is that selling isn't telling, selling is asking.
100%.
So you're constantly selling, okay? You're constantly selling yourself, whether it's in business, whether it's on a date. And I'm never going into a customer and saying, this is why you need to buy this, we're the best, this is we're the best, look at me, look at what all we've done. I said, are you even in the market for something like this? What's been your experience with da-da-da-da-da? When such and such happened, how did that make you feel? And you're letting the customer talk 80% of the time. You're familiar with the 80-20
Oh, absolutely,
rule?
absolutely.
Okay, so that's selling, that's dating. So here you are, somehow, dude, your name's Rick. Rick somehow manages to get Heather on a date. And he just goes there and just completely shoots himself in the foot.
I mean, let me just tell you a story. A couple weeks ago, I went on a date with a guy. We sit down at dinner. Literally, we just sit down, and he goes, so, what do you want to know about me? That was I'm like, okay, this date is over before it even started. I'm never going on a second date with you. And then these guys are flabbergasted when I don't want to go on a second date.
Did you sit through the date?
Oh, of course I sat through the date. I mean, it was at my favorite restaurant, so what was I going to do?
What did you ask when he said that?
No. It was
He said he got the bill, though.
Okay, Heather. I mean, SNEAKO, you want to go in on her at this one? Or,
I mean, she's already there.
Sat through the
Sexy
date.
fish.
I'm already
what
there.
What did you
are
ask?
supposed to do? You know he's an asshole. Make him spend money. Oops.
Exactly. I mean, but
Guys,
no.
listen up
so
to how women think, y'all.
He says, so what do you want to know about me? I'm like, what do you want me to know? And then he talks about
See how
himself
she
the whole
asked
date.
him a
Yeah,
question.
she's like, you
What would
tell
like
me.
to know?
Yeah. And so he just talks about himself the whole time and didn't ask me a single question.
That's not true.
We should got to eat.
I mean,
How is
it's
that meaning? Like, how is that possible? Like, I'm almost like in disbelief.
okay. Maybe
Was
I'm
he an
exaggerating.
egomaniac?
Very much egocentric.
Good-looking
kind of
guy, rich guy,
Great-looking
successful guy,
very
famous
successful
guy. Who was he?
attorney. Yeah.
I don't need his name, but
No.
like,
Yeah. Successful guy.
okay.
Yeah.
So was he a narcissist? Was he an egomaniac? Was he just been like, I banged hot chicks before, like, just come on, girl? Like,
I think he's the type of guy that's used to, you know, getting a lot of attractive girls, and he just feeds into the ego of it.
So what could he have done different and better?
I think going on a date with somebody, it should be a two-way conversation at least, and don't start off by saying, "What do you want to know about me?"
Yeah, that's never a good start.
That really rubbed me the wrong way.
Okay, so SNEAKO, you're a good-looking dude. You're a male model, allegedly, according to Google. You go on a date with a girl. Let's say you're on a date with Heather right now.
I ask questions the whole time.
What would you do with
and
Heather?
that's how it should be, asking questions
I could
about
tell
each other.
what does he do for a living? He does something completely.
He's an attorney.
Yeah, he doesn't speak for a living. I could tell because that's his outlet to go and do a podcast type thing. That's his time to podcast. I've actually realized that. This is his show.
No, he does do speaking.
I realize that about people that don't speak for a living. Like when you have conversation with them, they just talk and talk and talk, and they don't realize like how dumb or uninteresting they sound. Is because they don't have an audience, and so that's the way of communicating. But when you talk for a living, or when I stream like 4 or 5 hours every single day, doing a podcast, I'm doing another one. By the time I sit down for a dinner and I have to talk to somebody else, I don't care. Go ahead, talk to me. I was ask questions, and also realize like women love talking about themselves, just like that guy. Like people like feeding into their ego. So the best way to get somebody to like you, just make them talk about themselves, and they're like, "Oh wow, I really like this person."
100%.
And they don't even realize what happened. They were blowing up their own ego while you sat there and just ate at seconds.
You know what this reminds me of? You ever seen Chris Rock is like, other than Dave Chappelle, my probably favorite comedian. And he says, when a woman gets home from work, all she wants to do is talk. And your job as a man is just to, okay. You don't say, what? Get out. No, let her talk the whole time. And he goes, you always got to throw in, I told you that bitch crazy. Because every girl has some girl that she works with that's a crazy ass bitch. And that's just it. As a man, selling is asking questions and listening. What we talked about this the other day with Janelle. There's 3 things that you need as a man. 3 P's. And I'm not talking about, the P down there. She said, number 1 is presence. You want to feel that a guy is present with you. Like if you ask any girl their, what's it called, their 5 love languages,
right.
Most girls are going to say quality time are at the top. Okay? They want to feel that you're present. I learned that with a girlfriend of mine that was living with me and working for me and blah, 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 blah. And she said that her number 1 love language was presence. I'm like, we're 24/7 with each other. She's like, but I don't feel like you're present.
It's not quality time.
It's not quality time. So I learned number 1 is presence.
Yeah.
Number 2 is they want a man to protect them. Protecting. Still the caveman, hunter-gatherer, mentality still exists.
Absolutely.
You want a man to protect you.
Sure.
That's why women typically like guys who are 6 foot and big and strong. That's, right? Facts?
Yeah.
And then provide. Chicks, no secret that chicks like dudes with money. Okay? But money isn't the number 1 thing. Status, everything that kind of accompanies that is all part of it. But the listening thing, the asking questions thing, this is game that you guys should be understanding right there. SNEAKO's 24. He said it himself. He goes, I'm listening more than I'm talking. And you talk for a living. Do you not?
I do.
So it's just something you learned from live streaming?
If I'm in a room and I understand that these other people are more accomplished than me, then there's the most effective use of my time is sitting there asking questions and absorbing all the information possible. When I'm on a date, I don't give a fuck about what she's talking about. I'm just asking questions to fill up the time and to make herself
Hold on, back
feel
up,
important.
brother. What do you mean you don't give a fuck what she's talking about?
She's talking about.
Do you say that genuinely, or you're like, whatever? She's talking about bullshit.
I'm generalizing a lot of the dates, but a lot of it is similar conversations. They'll be like, "Oh, what are your tattoos?" And then I'm like, "No, this means that. This means this. What's your star sign?" And then I make a joke about how I'm a virgin because I'm a Virgo. And then she goes, that's not what it is. And then it's a repeat conversation. It's just like cookie cutter stuff.
Yeah.
Like when you get into game and you realize like what women want to hear on a first date and like what moves to play in order to get the W at the end of the night.
Yeah.
It's a repeat conversation every single time. You ask her about herself, like, well, she's a nail tech, or she, sells clothes here, or she does her sister's hair. It's just, she loves her family. Okay, cool.
Let me ask you, SNEAKO. Would you rather, we'll play a would you rather game with you guys. We like playing these games. Would you rather, whether it's date, smash, whatever you want to call it, a 10, whatever standard you think is a 10, put a 10 in your head.
A loyal 8. I know the question. I'd rather be with the loyal 8.
I'm not asking about loyalty. I'm not doing Chris Brown with you. These hoes ain't loyal. That's not where I'm going.
Okay.
Would you rather be with a 10 with a lame personality or a funny 7?
Funny 7.
I
Hands
didn't
down.
ask you, Heather. You'll go next.
Women will always take that. Women will always take the funny 7.
Of course. Now, let me, a 10, like you're drooling. Don't, there's girls you'll drool over. Don't act too cool. They're, oh shit, but maybe the conversation, you're like, yeah, sure, Virgo, virgin. Or a 7, maybe she's not the most attractive girl, but you're laughing, you're having fun, you're having a stimulating conversation.
I would pick the 7, not just because she's funny, but also being with the 10 is just going to have too many problems. She gets too much attention, her ego is too big, and she's not going to be grounded just because she's filled up with so much compliments all the time. So many people are not speaking to her realistically because of how attractive she is, that there's just no point, and it's just going to be an extra headache. It's not worth it.
And would you cheat on both?
Yes.
Wait, what was the question?
Would he cheat on both?
Would you cheat on both? Meaning, like, if that was his girlfriend?
Both. If he was with the 10 or the 7.
You're asking if that was his girlfriend or just
it's not cheating if there's an understanding. Those are two different things.
What do you mean by that?
Well, yeah, that's different. Correct.
I mean, monogamy is something that you can speak about with your significant other.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
You just say, hey, listen.
It's like cheating is lying, so it wouldn't be cheating, but.
So as long as you're upfront and say, hey, listen, I'm going to date you, but I'm definitely going to bang other chicks.
You have to make that clear in the beginning, but women are not really able to handle that truth, so you have to keep some things private. But there has to be an understanding, like, this is what I'm going to be doing.
But if you keep it private, isn't it cheating?
No, but also women will get really upset and start investigating and comparing yourself to the other girl's Instagram and look at your phone and giving yourself headaches and crying at night and wondering where you are. So it's better to keep some things, like to suppress the truth just a little bit.
So lie a
No,
little bit.
I will never look through a man's phone. That's one thing I will never do.
You've never looked through a guy's phone?
No, because it always ends up getting your feelings hurt. I mean,
No,
I've done it
you've done it
years
before,
ago.
you would never do it
but I would
again,
never
you
do it
mean.
again because I realized in that moment, if I need to look through your phone, I don't trust you. And if I
If
don't
you're
trust you,
insecure enough,
that's
you're
not
gonna do it
somebody
again.
that I don't want to. That's somebody I don't want to be with. If I need to look through your phone, no, we should trust each other.
Gotcha.
And you're not looking through my phone either.
So let me just extrapolate what SNEAKO is saying. He's saying that if you're a certain man of high status, believe me, like 99% of men cannot operate in the way that he's attempting to operate, or you are operating. I'm not saying that you are or you aren't, in his mentality. The dude driving Uber who's like, yeah, bro, like I cheat on my girl. It's like, good luck with that there, Jorge. Not you, Jorge. Different Jorge. You can do whatever you want, brother. But most men can't operate like that. If you achieve a certain level of status, if you picture the man, the Tom Brady of the world, what have you, if you can have a man like that, whoever it is, George Clooney, Leonardo DiCaprio, are you comfortable with the fact that he may explore his options?
I mean, at this point, I'm too old for Leo, so.
Yeah, 25.
Too bad.
You turn you in right quick. But you understand what he's trying to get at is that if you're a man of a certain caliber, right, however you want to kind of explain status here, would you ever be comfortable with sharing your man?
Me personally, no, I
Okay.
wouldn't be comfortable with that.
Now,
I
okay.
understand that that's the whole modern day dating thing, but so I think it's kind of an unspoken thing until you have the exclusive talk, like we're only seeing each other, that it's kind of
No, I'm
understood
talking about
that
like when
everyone's
you
seeing
are
other people.
exclusive. So
Oh no, when you're exclusive, that's exclusive. You shouldn't be seeing anyone else
at all, no.
No.
So the 50 girls, the 50 hottest girls in America that are competing for Miss USA, right? How many of them would be comfortable if they're dating that type of guy, David Beckham, Leonardo DiCaprio type, a George Clooney type, a Brad Pitt, whatever? How many of them would be even remotely comfortable with what SNEAKO is suggesting?
I don't think any high value woman would be okay with that.
What's a high value woman?
A woman who knows her worth and knows she can do better than that, because there are men out there that aren't gonna want to see a whole bunch of women at one time.
But what determines a woman's worth?
I think a woman determines her own value.
See, that's the difference between men and women. Like, a man can't just determine their value. The world dictates how valuable you are.
The marketplace, you're saying.
Right. Like,
Capitalism.
women could just make up how valuable she is in her head and then just assume that the world should follow that. But we can't operate like that. Imagine if I said like that, I'm just worth that. Like, why? Because I believe it. Everybody would think that I'm delusional, but women can believe that.
I don't know. I think as a woman, you need to hold yourself to a certain standard to get the respect that you want.
Well, let's just give this example here because, I mean, believe me, as much as I agree with you or even disagree with you, you're not going to change these girls' minds.
No, yeah.
How many girls?
just
how
wanted
many
to point that
girls'
out.
minds have you actually changed? Like actually,
It takes a lot of
you
work.
might be exposing,
No,
but
it
I
takes
don't
a
know
lot
if
of
you're
work.
changing. But the point is this: those 50 girls, let's just call them high-value women. They're pretty, they're intelligent, they've made it. They're on fucking stage at Miss USA. I mean, that's kind of in terms of beauty, the pinnacle.
I mean, not only that,
Yeah.
all these women are accomplished. They're, Harvard
too.
graduates. Some girls are in the military. I mean, these girls are
This isn't Playboy. You just have to have some fake titties and walk on stage. You have to have some
Substance.
qualifications.
No,
and
these
some
girls have
substance.
beauty and brains.
So whether you agree or disagree, these are women that would classify themselves as high-value women. But back to my initial question: how many of them would accept a dope guy, awesome guy, successful guy, cheating on them or exploring their options?
I don't think any of them would be okay with someone cheating on them.
None of them.
Not
Not even
think
one.
so. I don't think so.
What do you think? Any of those girls?
They would cry about it, and they can't say it because they can't put their ego down, but they would cry, get mad, and then stay if they're with a man that's really like that.
Okay, so maybe they do cry and stay once, but it's almost like fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. So like, let's say you did do that, you cheated on a girl, hey baby, you know, I was on a business trip, I love you, things happen. How many times?
No, see, if you apologize, then she's going to leave the next time. If you don't apologize and you set the bar, then she's going to expect that this is what my guy wants.
But on the other side of that, one of my favorite quotes is what you tolerate, you encourage. So as a woman, if you're tolerating that, you're encouraging that behavior.
Yeah. I just don't get how many case examples. This is a very important topic because I know you believe very strongly in this. And I've been a cheater and I've been faithful in relationships. And I've been all in between, and I hang out with millionaires and billionaires and athletes. And this is a very sensitive topic. I get it, but you run face forward toward it, run towards it, and respect to you on that. But what case examples do you have of high value men that actually do this, and the women that are like, yeah, I'm with you. Like what, like show me examples of who's actually doing this.
Any woman with a high value man.
No, I'm like name names is what I'm saying. Like
Beyonce, Jay-Z. Beyonce, like people consider her the high value woman. Everybody looks up to her, single ladies. But Jay-Z cheated on her many times, and she's still there.
You think he's still cheating on her?
100%.
You think so?
No shit.
Really?
Of course.
I don't know about that.
Come
brother.
on.
You think Beyonce and the Beehive are playing that game?
They don't talk about it because she can't ruin her
that.
reputation. She needs to be the boss bitch on Twitter, but behind the scenes, come on.
I don't
Jay's
know
out
about
here
that.
fucking.
I don't know about that. I know that obviously Solange Knowles beat the shit out of him in an elevator one time, or attempted to, because he cheated one time. Go deeper. Who else?
Married guys?
Yeah. Or committed relationship.
Well, a lot of this is not going to be communicated because the famous guys that we're talking about, they understand that the woman's ego is going to be at stake if they talk about this. But come on, you know these guys.
What I'm saying is, dude, I hear you. I wish that I could be with a hot-ass chick and she was totally cool with me banging more chicks. That'd be amazing. What I'm trying to establish is...
Bad Bunny and his wife, he has... He's fucking other girls.
Okay, this is what I'm interested in.
But do they have an open relationship?
Right.
Is it communicated?
Yes, I think they publicly have an open relationship.
that's...
Okay, so Bad Bunny, the biggest Latin trap rapper
biggest
in the
artist
world.
Right now. No, biggest artist, period, right now.
Okay, so we're talking not the 1%. We're not talking the 0.1%. We're talking the biggest, bestest thing on the planet. Got it. We're talking arguably one of the top 2 or 3 greatest rappers of all time. Got it. Who else?
But I think it's important to note that they're in an agreement that it is an open relationship. So he's
I don't
not
know if
cheating.
Beyonce's in an agreement like that, baby.
Well, with Bad Bunny.
Okay, but I generally want to know, because if I'm going to follow
a lot of these guys,
playbook,
this is public.
Yeah.
But most of these men that you're talking about, they will have an understanding. So it's not going to be an open relationship. The wife just eventually just comes to terms with what's going to happen. And they'll keep it behind closed doors.
True.
They'll do it sneaky. They'll do it on business trips.
Yeah.
And they'll just keep it quiet and then just come home like, or she might find a pair of panties in the car, and then she'll throw it away if she's a good wife. She just won't.
But are you
give it a
proud?
problem.
Are you proud of that, cheating on your girl?
Am I proud of it?
Yeah, like you're acting like it's something that
I'm not saying I
guys
do
should
it.
be proud of.
I'm saying that this is just the nature of the world. This is what happens with guys who have made it.
So you think all guys cheat?
Every guy cheats. Every guy wants to cheat at least. No guy is naturally monogamous.
You think Tom Brady cheats?
100%.
You think that's why they divorced?
No, it's because he wanted to keep working. That had nothing to do with it. She realized that she was with the best man that she can get with, and so she stayed until he just didn't want to give up his career.
But he's with like one of the top models of all time. Why? My question is, why would...
I don't even know her name. I don't even...
Giselle.
Come on, bro.
Yeah.
Why would a guy like that cheat on, I mean, literally like one of the top supermodels of all time?
Well, listen, I'll tell you
We
this.
just like variety.
Yeah.
We like...
If you have steak for dinner every single night,
gonna get bored. You need
sometimes just
sushi.
want a fucking hamburger. I get
Some
it.
fried
I mean,
chicken.
I'm not saying... Here's my point, bro. I'm giving, like, there's rules and exceptions, okay? So as a guy who's been faithful in some relationships and a guy who's cheated in some relationships, I understand both sides of the equation. Here's what I will say. 99.99% of you guys are not pulling this off. The reason I asked you for examples is why? You just named the best rapper of all time.
That have publicly done it. They have publicly done it. But I
Publicly,
will...
we can only talk publicly. You don't know fucking shit what's going on behind the scenes. All we can... Hey, my boy Bill down the street, he did it. Who the fuck's Bill?
Well, I'm not talking about
names
Bill.
you can name.
They won't keep it secret,
Latin,
though. That's my
the
point.
number one Latin musician in the world right now. The best football player ever. Okay, so like to become that person, Like, you have to become such a man of status to reach that point.
Or even my boy Steve will do it on Rumble. One of the Nelk boys, he was canceled too. Same thing. Everybody knows his girl. She's in all his videos, and they have an open relationship.
That's the guy.
He's out
That's
here.
the case example. Steve will do it.
How many examples do you want me to give before?
No, I'm just saying, what I am actually asking you is like, cool, I get it, but like, are you saying that? I'm not even saying you. Are you saying that you're on Jay-Z level? That you're on Bad Bunny level? Like, at what level can you have that conversation with your girl? Here's my point. I know guys that are multimillionaires, billionaires, NBA athletes. I'm not saying they don't cheat, but there's definitely no understanding with their girl. They're like, yo, bro, like, just, tell my girl I was over here. Like, they're not like, yeah, baby, it is what it is. This dick's got to do what it's got to do.
That's my point. We're agreeing. So these guys will do it. It's just the understanding is different. See, Bad Bunny is at a level where he can just communicate with his wife, and it takes a lot of work to actually be open about it. My point is that most guys will do it, and then the girl kind of knows, but they don't really talk about it. It's this unspoken thing. And that is a level of understanding. And if she catches him, if it's right in front of her face, then she's going to be upset. But I think there is a mutual understanding that this is what's going on.
I would encourage you to any super successful guy you meet. I hope this isn't the last time I see you. And I hope to introduce you to a lot of successful guys I know. Guys that can open up a lot of doors for you. Money, access, clout, all that. And I want you to ask them, yo, between me and you, what's it really like? Like, what are you really doing? And get their answers. Because I've asked them these questions. These agreements don't exist as much as you think, brother. I hope it did. I wish it did. I just don't know if it does.
Okay, are they cheating, yes or no?
Some are and some are not.
Most are, right?
Some are and some are not.
Okay. So the agreement is the part that a lot of guys are not capable of doing because it's hard to navigate female emotion. But if they can get around that, then they can actually have a communicated understanding. My point is, I think we're agreeing that the understanding part is different. Like, they know, but they don't want to know. It's just something you don't think about or discuss. It's the boogeyman.
Here's what I will tell you, and this is where I will agree with you. We talked about the 80-20 rule. The 100% of women, if not 80% of women, want to fuck the top 10% of guys. That's just how it works. Like, they all want to fuck the top G, which we'll talk about Tate in a second. So it's supply and demand. That's just economics. This is a financial show at the end of the day that we talk relationships. It's supply and demand. The demand is there, but the supply is very limited. There's only the 1% or the 10% for a reason. There's a reason that 1/3 of men under 30 have not been laid in a year. So the bottom third ain't getting no love. And then there's the middle third that maybe get some fucking, things thrown at them here and there. And there's the upper echelon that are getting all the chicks. That's just kind of how it works. And that goes to the premise of the show, is that improving your status, improving your network, improving your financial, improving your relationship status to become the top echelon of man. You're not saying that any dude can do this, correct?
No.
Who can do this?
You have to earn it.
You have to earn it. And how do you earn it?
By improving yourself, by providing, by earning your worth. And that's the difference, and we establish that between men and women. Women can kind of determine their worth in their head. Men, their worth is determined by how the world perceives them. And so you have to add value to the world, and that will determine how much you can cheat.
One thing I'll tell you that we 100% agree upon, 100%, I've seen you a bunch of your clips, is, well, let me ask Heather. What do you call a guy that has sex with a lot of women?
Not somebody I want to be with.
But what would you call them?
Really? You want to be with an incel?
I don't... what would I call him?
A guy who's been with a lot of women.
A man-ho? I don't know.
A man-ho?
Yeah.
Give me another word. Give me a couple words. Just don't try to, give me...
A player.
A pimp, a player, a G, a hustler,
Yeah.
All right. Would you rather be with a guy like that or a guy who's still a virgin? I know it's a binary option, but who would you rather be with?
That's a loaded question.
You know the answer, Heather. You know the answer, Heather.
I need to think.
This is true. I mean...
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, we're kind of getting the uncomfortable answer out of you. How hard is it for a guy to sleep with a lot of women?
I don't know. I'm not a guy. How hard is it?
See, women don't understand
how easy is it for a woman to sleep with a lot of men? How hard is that?
I would say it's easier for women.
Really? Why is that?
To sleep with a lot of guys?
Yeah.
I feel like, what's the quote? Women choose who they sleep with and men choose who they marry.
Okay. That's a cute little response. Here's what I'll tell you, and I'm sure you agree with me. For a man to sleep with hundreds of women, a bunch of women, do you know how much value he needs to bring to the marketplace, to the sexual marketplace? He needs to be good looking. He needs to be funny. He needs to be suave. He needs to be cool. He needs to be a gentleman, but not too much of a gentleman. He needs to be a nice, but not too nice. He needs to be an asshole, but not too much of an asshole. He needs to have banter. He needs to be witty. He needs to have connections. He needs to have clout. He needs to do all that to sleep with all those women. Oh, chick, what does she need to do?
You could walk outside right now, spread your legs, and there'll be a dick in there in 5 minutes. If I walk
2
outside
minutes.
naked, I'm going to jail. Like if I do the same exact thing, I'm going to go to jail. So it's not the same thing.
Yeah.
And when you say a word like man-ho, it just doesn't hit the same. Like, have you ever been shamed? Does that make you feel bad?
No, you're
a slut. Like,
yeah, I'll tell you.
cool.
Let me,
it's like a
yes.
compliment. But
So,
for a woman, she knows that it's bad because she just gave up her value for nothing.
I see this girl last night, okay? I have some drinks with friends. And by the way, I've been partying in South Beach for 20 years. So this isn't like I'm from Miami. I didn't just show up and like, oh. This is a girl who's been around South Beach. She's a waitress. She goes, I have something to tell you. What? I say, yeah, because I was there with a girl and she knew another girl. She goes, you're a little hoe.
Oh.
I said, all right, what else? She goes, but you're so sweet. You're so nice. You always take care of us. You treat us right. You always tip us. Like, you're like the best. And I go, am I still a hoe? She goes, yeah, but like, you're my hoe, kind of a thing. It's a difference between a girl being that dirty hoe. Like, when you're saying the man hoe thing, there's like a...
No, I agree. It's totally different.
It's
I
totally
agree.
different.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, Leonardo DiCaprio, man hoe, yeah? Yeah?
Sure, yeah.
Derek Jeter, man hoe, yeah?
Sure.
Okay? You would date these types of men. George Clooney, man hoe, yeah? These are the highest value men on the planet, baby.
Yeah.
Okay. So what chick is sleeping with a bunch of dudes? So I've interviewed Lisa Ann, porn star.
Yeah.
Okay? I've interviewed Nikki Benz, porn star. I've interviewed Alexis Texas, porn star. Great girls. Chop it up with them any day of the week. But they're not exactly like the best reputation, right? They're porn stars. Okay? So there is a difference between a guy pulling a lot of chicks and a woman pulling a lot of chicks.
Oh, for sure.
So you're coming around to our way of thinking.
No, I agree with that. I agree 100%.
Right.
I agree.
Okay. SNEAKO, final word on this topic. We'll move on.
Bring back cheating.
SNEAKO, you're 24?
Yeah.
I can't wait to interview when you're 34. I
Why?
can't wait.
What do you think is going to change?
Well, I'll show you what's going to change because we're going to talk about Tate for a second. Have you not noticed how different Tate is right now than he was a year ago?
People keep saying that, but it's not that he's different. It's just that the entertainment is different. I think he understood that being controversial and not caring and triggering a lot of the liberals was a really viral way to blow up, and it worked. I don't think any of his ideas changed. I don't think any of his worldview has changed, really. It's just that the method is different because now that he's deplatformed, there's no point in trying to trigger people or be this problematic figure on purpose to be a realist. It's just that now that all the attention's already on him and he's already been canceled and people have labeled him a human trafficker and everything, now he could show the world, look, I'm actually not a bad person. All the people that got triggered and thought that I was a demon, look, I'm good. Mm-hmm. I'm a man of God. I'm trying to inspire the youth. I'm trying to tell men to be masculine and tell women to be feminine. I have a good message, and you've been duped by the media, and you've been duped by your feelings to think that I'm bad. So it's not that.
Fair enough.
I keep hearing people say it's not different. It's just the entertainment's different.
Okay, but back to you. I said, I can't wait to interview where you're 34, and you asked me, what do you think will be different? Right? Mm-hmm. You don't think you're going to change and have a difference of opinions in 10 years from now?
Of course I do. I'm curious to what you think it's going to be.
I think you're going to learn a lot. I think you're going to have life experience. Like, I'm 41 now.
Like what? What do you think, my perspective, how is it going to change?
You're probably going to have a kid. You're probably going to have a daughter. You're probably going to have a different way of thinking. You may or may not get married. You might lose a parent. You might... some shit's going to happen in your life, bro, that you're going to say, yeah, maybe I was wrong about that. I don't give a fuck, just so you know. Do you? I'm just saying, like, the way that I used to operate when I was 24 and after Florida State and I was partying every day is not the exact same operate when I'm 41. Things are going to change. You're going to grow up, and I hope you do. And I'm not saying you're a kid. I think you're a fucking pimp-ass, suave, fucking smart 24-year-old. But for you to not believe that you're not going to improve.
I didn't say that.
But by the time you're 34,
I'm just asking what you think the difference.
I think all those things are going to happen.
What did you learn from 24 to 34?
What did I learn?
Yeah.
I was broke. By 24, 25, I was the brokest one of my friends, sleeping on friends' couches. By the time that I was 35, I was a millionaire and I had NBA players crashing in the other room. Life can change a lot different, okay? And your mindset can change. And that's the whole premise of what we do in this show.
What about your mindset specifically changed?
Okay, so I used to cheat on my girl.
Nice.
No problem.
Why are you such an advocate of cheating? That's his thing.
And then I realized that I actually was with a girl that I was in love with, amazing, didn't cheat on her. I said, let me try to not cheat on a girl. Let me just try this.
How was it? Monogamy was good?
It was actually pretty good for a little while. And then here's my point. This beautiful girl, she kind of looked a lot like this, not hitting on you, but very good girl, gorgeous. She got cancer, bro. Gorgeous girl like this. Imagine this girl right here. All of a sudden, she's bald. Cancer. You don't think that like my heart was not like broken when she had cancer, and the thought of like finding some new pussy wasn't like the last thing on my mind? So like things are gonna happen in your life and you're like, yeah, that new pussy ain't exactly the most important thing right now. And I'm not saying that is to you. All I'm saying is this. Life's crazy, dude. Life is crazy. Man plans, God laughs. Things are gonna happen in your life to change your perspective. That's it. And I think you're smart enough to acknowledge that.
I have. But I'm curious to what you think that is. Like, what is different from your mindset from being a broke guy?
I don't know what's going to happen to you. I'm just saying in 10 years, things are going to change.
But you didn't really answer my question. You said that you went from being broke to being a millionaire with the NBA players in the living room. But like, what changed about your mindset?
So what is it?
What changed about your worldview?
You just answer the question.
Well, okay, no, let me ask you a question. What's the difference between being a boy and a man?
Having a stronger grip on reality.
Okay, but you can have a good grip on reality at any age.
As
or you can have a horrible grip of reality.
No, I don't think boys have a good grip on reality.
I don't think a lot of men have a lot of grip on reality. I don't think most people have a lot of grip on reality. Fair enough. What else?
Going back to the name of the show, adding more value to the world. Being more of a provider.
True.
Being more independent.
Here's where I'm going with this. You see what Shia LaBeouf had to say about this? Can we play that clip?
Yeah,
it's somewhere on there on Slack. He says this. You're a fan of Shia LaBeouf?
Yeah.
Okay. It was on the Slack. I don't know if we could find it. I'll try to summarize it. He said, I didn't know what it meant to be a man. Being this man thing is tough. And what I learned about being a man, it's on Slack, babe. What I've realized what it means to be a man is when you're responsible for other people. As a boy, you're just responsible for yourself. You don't know what you're doing. And as a man, you have to be responsible for whether that's your kids, whether that's people in your life, whether that's my sick girlfriend with cancer. Now you're responsible for other. And when you're responsible for other people and you're viewed as a leader, you have a lot different mentality. So as an example, there's a famous phrase, anyone can be a father. It takes a real man to be a dad. So like mindsets will change. Mindsets will improve. It's going to happen to you, bro. Okay? Because you're chasing status. You're chasing success. You're chasing women. Like, you're going to grow. It's just going to happen. So that's my answer to you.
What did you take from that? What did you think his perspective? I missed that.
You missed what I said?
No, I was wondering how your perspective changed specifically, but I'm wondering.
So when you become a man rather than a boy, you have to be responsible for other people. So let me ask you directly, who are you responsible for?
My family.
What do you mean your family?
I'm not responsible completely. I don't provide.
You don't pay your family's bills, right?
Some.
But that's not something you've been doing, is it? All right, your family. Okay, who else?
That's pretty much it.
All right, so at some point you're going to have a kid. You're going to be responsible for the kid. That's all I'm saying. Watch this clip right here. How long is it?
52 seconds.
Go ahead, watch this.
When do you become a man? When you get a driver's license? Like, what do we do? You're 16, we give you a driver's license. Okay, well, like, you get a job? Like, when do you become a man? You become a man when you become responsible for other people. And part of that is taking accountability. And so, like, I'm very new to this being a man thing. And I'm still not there. And I'm on a path. But I didn't have no, like, I grew up in a culture that told me going to war made you a man. Going to prison and coming back makes you a man. Making $1 million makes you a man, you know, and it doesn't. And you don't know it till you've done all these things and realize, damn, I'm still a little fucking boy. Or been around people who've been there a bunch of times. You know, I don't know nothing about being a war like Kevin, but I know.
So the point is this. is Shia LaBeouf a pretty high value man?
Sure.
Good looking, successful.
Didn't I say the same thing? Well, when you asked me what separates a boy from a man,
What'd you say?
I said providing and being more independent. It's the same thing as like being responsible for people.
All I'm saying is this. He had to grow. I had to grow. You're going to have to grow. And this isn't a knock on you. I'm saying I can't wait to interview the future SNEAKO. I think you're going to have a different perspective. Do you not agree?
I do. I agree.
Okay.
I've agreed the whole time.
All right.
I think I was just asking.
I'm not trying you, dog. I'm just saying I can't wait to interview in 10 years.
And I was just wondering what you think or how you think my perspective is going to develop now.
I think it's going to change. I think you're going to have a deeper rooted existence. I think that a lot of your brand is like, you know, being a player and fucking a bunch of girls. And dude, keep doing it. I'm encouraging
that's
you.
That's the really surface level
cheating.
stuff about what I talk about. See, like you asked me, like, why do I always bring that up? It's mostly to, and I don't want to be disrespectful to women when I say that genuinely. A lot of that is to inspire the masculinity that has been ripped away from a lot of men nowadays because of the feminism and the woke agenda that's being pushed. Men are not supposed to set standards, and men are told that what they want is toxic and that we're problematic and we're bad people for having standards. But that's a really surface level stuff about what I talk about, and that's what goes viral on TikTok. It's talking about women going on Fresh and Fit, making fun of feminism and yelling, stuff like that. That's really easy. But what I'm trying to do now that I'm on Rumble and now that I have a bigger platform is I'm talking about politics. I'm talking about what happened with the FTX, what happened, like conspiracies around the world. Stuff. I'm really trying to uncover the truth and get really into the red pill so we can figure out what's going on. But that's how you drag in the normies. That's how you drag in the people that are confused and don't know what's going on. And that's why I do really well on shorts and on TikToks and the short form content is because I could talk fast, I could like yell and be entertaining to Gen Z quickly. But for the people that stumble into the live stream, hopefully they learn something about the world they didn't know.
Dude, I get it. We're in an attention economy. We're in an eyeball economy. And if that's going to get you clicks, more power to you. By the way, I think we agree on 95% of what you say. Maybe 90. But like, do I think you should be canceled? No. Do I think you should be deplatformed? No. Do I think what you're saying is that controversial? No. You know, as a kid, we were always told, sticks and stones will never hurt, you know, whatever hurt, always heard about words will never hurt you, whatever that whole thing was. At this point in our lives right now, words hurt people. And I asked you, like, you know, where should we draw the line on freedom of speech? I think it's just when it turns into sticks and stones. And I think we've lost sight of what we learned in kindergarten. Do I think Kanye should be canceled? No. And I'm Jewish. Do I think Kyrie should be kicked out of the league? No. And I'm Jewish. Words don't hurt people. But we're in such a fragile eggshell, walking on eggshell state that like SNEAKO said that he should fuck girls. It's like, cancel him. Tate said that he's a, cancel him. It's disgusting to me. It's absolutely disgusting. First Amendment is the reason that it's the First Amendment and not the 16th Amendment because it's numero uno, y'all. Let's not forget about that. So I think you're going to crush it on Rumble. I think you're going to be a great Rumbler. But I would love to see you back on YouTube and these other platforms if they'll have you back.
They won't. They're not gonna have
well, not with that attitude, bro.
There's no point in trying to go to a place where why beg to be on a platform that doesn't want you? If they don't want me there, they've made the decision. True. And I actually tried. I tried to make more accounts, and they banned those too.
Okay.
They banned either the fan channels.
We've got about half hour left. I don't know if we can go a little bit longer, but I'm really enjoying this. And I want to focus the next 20, 30 minutes on our friend Mr. Tate. And the reason that I want you... You're busy? What you got going on?
No.
Okay, gotcha. You're familiar with this kid, Aiden Ross?
Of course, yeah.
Okay, have you ever done anything with him?
Yeah.
Okay, I find their relationship to be hilarious, okay? I text Tate today, all right? I say, I said, yo, I'm in Dallas. The ballroom I'm at is called the Tate Ballroom. Like, you got ballrooms named after you. He goes, that's awesome, bro. I'm balling, right? Play on words. I said, how are you, bro? I got SNEAKO on my show today. He goes, nice. I said, by the way, I really like those conversations you have with this kid, Aiden Ross. I said, it's the epitome of big bro serving game to lil bro. And he goes, yes, I got to do more as soon as my eyes are back. He had some situation where his eyes, he had LASIK, whatever, not to put his shit out there. I said, what happened? Eye surgery, whatever. I said, I hope you're feeling better, brother, whatever. The point is this. I asked him straight up. I go, this interview was the most unique interview I've seen Tate do. I've done you know this, I've done an 8-hour sit down with Tate, okay? 5-hour visit came onto YouTube. It has 10 million views. okay? I've seen him said same things a lot. I've heard him say things in this 15-minute interview that I've never heard him say. Some things that he told me in confidence that I swear to God, if I was clout chasing, I would have put out there on the internet months ago. But I was like, you know what? He told me not to say some shit. I'm not going to do my guy dirty. I'm not going to say some shit. But he says it live in this interview with Aiden, okay? And this is the epitome of self-improving or changing and reinventing yourself and you know, being a different person and serving game to this cute little 22-year kid, Aiden. I think it's hilarious. So what I want to do right now is watch a couple clips, get your perspective, and just have some dialogue in the next 20, 30 minutes, okay? So let's just start. You have the timestamps?
Yeah, which one?
Okay, so the first one is at 0.55.
Okay.
But I've seen all these already. I've reacted to this one.
You have?
Yeah.
Oh, amazing. So let's just run it back.
I have no idea who this is,
Gotcha.
so this will be interesting.
So this will be our SNEAKO and I thing, but you can sit there. Okay.
That's a noble pursuit. How old do you want to be when you start doing that?
What are you, like pushing 40?
Wow.
High quality music and sound
Sorry for the
effects that you
YouTube
can
ads,
actually
y'all.
afford.
Can we turn the volume up a little bit?
Yeah.
On the TV?
35. And if you guess the number correctly, I'll tell you.
2 kids?
2. Fucking 2. You think I'm some bitch?
5 kids?
5. You think I'm some bitch?
10?
Closer.
12?
Around there.
Okay, you have kids. Damn, I didn't know that.
Why wouldn't I?
Did they all have different baby mothers?
I mean, not all different, but there's been a few ovens to bake the bread.
Cool. Now, put these on 1.5 so we can fast forward through this. So this is the first time I've heard Tate acknowledge that he's got kids. Okay, he just said he had how many kids in this video since you did a reaction video? Closer to 10?
Double digits.
Right?
Yeah, I'm not sure how true that is, but.
Either do I, because he told me point blank how many kids he had, and the number was more than 3 and less than 5. You can do math. So, but with a few different moms. But he's acknowledging the fact that he has kids out there. So the top G has kids, per his words. Okay, so when I said at some point you're gonna have kids, at some point I'm gonna have kids, I don't have kids yet. What's your thoughts on that? The fact that he's coming, this is the first time I heard him say he has kids.
Oh, well, I knew that. I thought it was secret information, so I guess we could talk about it now. But
do you understand that's exactly what I'm saying? Is he told me that exact number in confidence. I met one of his wives. It's actually a hilarious story. I'm sitting there in Madrid, okay? I'm sitting there with Pat and our production team. We're sitting there, and we're just having a conversation. We're doing the interview with Tate the next day. And I look across, we're at the Four Seasons in Madrid, sick hotel. And I'm looking across, just like this, how I see Natalia right there. I see a gorgeous brunette girl, gorgeous. And I'm looking, hey, how you doing? I look and I go and I'm like, huh. And this is how my mind works. That's an attractive woman. What the hell is she doing there by herself? Definitely probably not by herself. She's probably not paying for a room. Probably with the dude. Let me go look for the dude. Boom, I look this way. There's Tate walking towards her. I go, oh shit, there's Tate. Pat, hey, there's Tate. Boom, boom, boom. Hey, what's up, Tate? How are you? We do the whole interaction there. He says, hey, do you guys want to grab dinner tonight? We're like, well, yeah, maybe we'll think about it. Actually, turned out, we said, probably not best to do dinner. We're going to do a whole conversation tomorrow. Why, talk about everything we're going to talk about tomorrow? The point is, he introduced the girl as his wife. At that point in the interview, we didn't put it on camera. He said, by the way, I have 4 kids. I forgot if it was 2 or 3 different women. But that's not something I kind of put out there, whatever. I said, cool, we've never talked about this. Pat nor I, he said, keep it in confidence. But now he's talking about it right now. You just said the exact same thing. You've never heard him talk about this, right?
No.
So why now? Why would he reveal that to Aiden Ross, of all people?
To add some family values to a man that's living in L.A., a place full of degeneracy and porn stars, and he's there with cloud chasers and drug dealers and a bunch of degenerate behavior. So he's trying to show that family is very important.
Gotcha.
Family values for a guy who has multiple baby mothers. He's just contributing to the fatherless children epidemic in America.
Well, he's a father to all of them.
Yeah, but when you have children with more than one woman, there's no way that you can be an equally good father to all of them at one time. It's physically impossible.
You're supposed to be an equally good father to all of them?
But there's no time in the world to be with all these different women and to create a full household with more than one baby mama, so to speak.
I think the main role of a father is to be the provider and a good masculine figure. I don't think you need to be around and as present as much as the mother, especially in the early years. As long as you're there and you are inspiring and you're being a good masculine presence, that's mostly what a child needs.
I agree, but it becomes much harder when you have more than one mother of your children to be there for all those kids is all I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I think
unless they live together, but I think
that's probably highly unlikely.
Well,
no, in the Middle East it's very different, especially in Islamic culture. It's more common for those families to be more
Well,
involved.
we're talking about America, LA.
Well, Andrew lives in Dubai. It's different, but he's trying to instill his family values. Ada doesn't have to emulate that completely, but that's the life he chose.
Here's the timestamps. Okay. Here's what I will say about this. By the way, I agree with 99% of what Tate has to say. So, like, I'm not coming at the king. That's my guy. Text him today, whatever. We just established the 3 roles of a man. Be a protector, be a provider, and to be present. So, whether he's present or not, I have no freaking clue. But that is an important thing. I will say this. His father wasn't around a lot. His father was a grandmaster chess player, right? His father was constantly on the road. It helped him shape to become the man he is today. The father would come home, stay there for a little bit, have some drama with the mom, back on the road playing chess. So there's a blueprint for why he's operating like this. I'm not saying that's right or that's wrong, but that's the reason that he's doing this. You're familiar with the relationship with his father or no?
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't understand what I'm saying? Okay. By the way, when you have kids, you don't think you'll be around that often?
I'll be there, of course.
Okay.
I want to be a very big presence in their lives.
Okay. Good.
But you just said they don't need to be present that often.
Not as much as the mother. I think especially in the early years from the ages 0 to 10, it's mostly the nurturing and being at home. But
2 minutes.
The dad should be around providing and being a masculine presence, showing up, but it doesn't need to be around as much as the mother, I think, in the early years.
By the way, I don't disagree with that. I mean, for sure the mother needs to be there. From a biological standpoint, she's probably doing some breastfeeding. You know, if you want to kind of get like caveman times with it, hunter-gatherer society, the man is out there killing woolly mammoths out there, doing what he's got to do. The mother's back in the cave with the babies. I think that's very traditional. I think that's just human evolution. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think a part of the problem with today's society is the men are becoming the women are becoming the men. I think that's what SNEAKO sort of stands for, is that can we kind of get back to traditional roles? Do you not?
Yeah. That's what
okay, so and I think Tate just sort of embodies that. Let's go to the next thing. So you talked about family values. Tate has come out and basically said he has converted to Islam, right? Let's play this clip. It starts at the 2-minute mark.
But if you're going to take 9 months and mess about, then I need 20. So, you know, I have no choice but to have 4 wives as Allah intended. That's why God told us men to have 4 wives, because they knew we needed large families and that women are slow. Allah understands. God understands. His word is golden for a reason. Do you have 4 wives yet?
Nah, I got none.
I have none.
You know, if you got yourself a nice Islamic wife, she wouldn't cheat on you, she'd cook for you, she'd look after you, she wouldn't have an OnlyFans. You know, most of the problems you're facing currently with women can be solved by Islam.
Really?
I just told you why.
Wait, they actually don't cheat?
She'd have decency, she'd cover up, she'd be God-fearing. If she missed, her family would also keep an eye on her, so her family would tell her to obey her husband. She'd want your children, she'd look after you. Islamic women are the best. They understand that the best way to serve God is to also serve their husbands.
Where do I get one at?
So most of your problems could be solved.
Where do I get an Islamic woman?
You must become a Muslim yourself first, my friend.
Keep it actually at 1 speed because that goes pretty fast on these clips. Now, I googled SNEAKO Islam. You know what clip is out there, right?
Yeah.
Do you want me to play it or no?
I prefer not.
Okay. If you don't want to play, you're making fun of Islam.
I'm not making fun of Islam. I was making fun of haram behavior, and
Okay.
I was doing the prayer in response to that. I was actually, if you look at the intentions, I'm in support of Islam, and I have a very big Christian and Islamic audience. So it was different. I was making fun of people committing haram, the pride parades, and people dressing up naked in public. That's what I was making fun of, and I was using the prayer to respond to it.
Got it.
It wasn't making fun of Islam.
Yeah, dude, and just so you understand, I'm here to have a conversation with you. I'm not here to make you look stupid. I'm like, there's a clip. I'm not going to even play it because you said don't play it. I'm not going to do it.
But it's interesting that the 2 clips you've chose, like the modeling stuff and the Islamic stuff, are just 2 clips to make me look bad. Is there any positive clips or like any question, like anything that's not controversial?
You think the modeling thing was there to make you look bad?
It doesn't. I mean, it looks.
We
stupid.
Googled SNEAKO model. Those were the images, bro.
Yeah, it looks goofy. I'm not very proud of that.
Dude, I don't know that.
Really?
Meaning like I don't, dude. Natalia was there. I said,
Yeah.
did you know this guy used to model? I go, Google some of the images. This isn't a got you interview, bro.
Why is the Islamic prayer one? That one I took a lot of heat for. That was.
And I'm purposely not playing it, but I'm asking your opinion on the fact that he's converted to Islam.
Of course, yeah. I've been considering converting to Islam for years.
Really?
Yeah, since reading Malcolm X I've been considering.
And why would you convert?
It's the religion that I resonate with the most, and I grew up Christian, but I never could really understand everything about it. I don't know. I'm still deciding whether I want to convert to Christianity or Islam.
Okay. What do you mean convert to Christianity or Islam?
I want to pick a religion, but I struggle with deciding.
What are you now?
I believe in God. I'm a theist, but I'm not any specific religion.
Gotcha. So you would actively convert, or are you religious?
I'm spiritual.
Okay, that's what all girls say.
Astrology?
No, I believe in a God. I think everyone has their own thing. I think everyone believes in the universe, God, something. We just all call it something else.
By the way, just so you're not uncomfortable, we do have some nice clips of you.
Do you?
This isn't a gotcha interview, bro.
What clips do you have?
Would you like me to play them now,
No,
or just continue with this?
You can keep going.
Okay. There's going to be some good stuff, buddy. I've just said I agree with probably 90 to 95% of what you said. What part of this am I trying to get you on?
I didn't say you were trying to get me.
Okay. Well, you said the clips that I'm talking about. I Googled SNEAKO model. Now it's what anyone can do that right now. How am I getting you?
I never said you were getting me.
You just said that,
it.
bro.
No, I said you have 2 clips to make me look unfavorable.
Not
well,
the
it's
case
not even
at all.
that. It's maybe just giving you a chance to clear the air for people who do think you're unfavorable. Because essentially, like you said, 90% of the things that we talk about, we're on the same lane as you.
Yeah,
So
dude, we're not,
these playing these clips.
This ain't a gotcha interview,
Yeah.
bro. I'm cool with Tate. I'm cool with Fresh and Fit. I'm not here to got SNEAKO. I'm here to get to know you and see what you stand for. You think I'm trying to get you?
No, just every hit piece video has covered the same topics. The people that you've had on the show, the people that have made documentaries about me, they say the same things. They show the modeling pictures. They talk about the Islamic prayer stuff. They talk about the inconsistencies with my message over the years. I've had a lot of people that I've noticed this with social media, with podcasts. People will choose to talk about the controversial issues and will choose to paint you in some sort of a bad light instead of try to figure out your messaging. There's been the rare specific interviews where people really try to figure out why you tick. And
But
why
isn't
you say
that
the
your
things you say.
job? If we're playing something that you've done in the past, I mean, it's there. It's, but
but
that's your job.
Why pick those clips instead of things that can talk about my messaging or what
But
I
then
talk
you
about?
can clarify your messaging through these clips. Okay, well, this was a point in my life, X, Y, and Z. And now I'm here. So
it's been discussed about extensively. All these.
Well, I'll be honest. We don't know.
How about this? This isn't a gotcha interview, bro. The reason, ask Fresh and Fit, ask Tate, ask Rolo. I'm not trying to get you. Let's play a good clip so you understand I agree with you. I've said 90, 95%.
No, it's fine.
Agree.
I don't mean to interrupt.
No, you're not interrupting. I just I want to clear the air just so we can continue with the interview so you don't think I'm trying to get you. Let's play the clip where SNEAKO says the game's messed up. I think it's actually a powerful point. It's towards the end. That one.
Gotcha. To create a family and things of that nature.
Turn the volume up, guys.
Is acceptable. I mean, we'll take less, but it just depends on your job and your career and what you're doing.
1.0.
A lot of girls have said that, and I actually just recently read the statistic where only 2% of men between the ages of 20 and 40 make 6 figures and are...
Only 2% of men, and they all want it. Do you see how the standards have been fucked up from social media? 2% of men make 6 figures, and 100% of women want that. And 100% of women want you to be monogamous. The game's fucked up. The game's fucked up.
For an income,
I'm in agreement with you there. This is, at the end of the day, more than anything, I like talking finance. Yeah. I would talk finance all day long if I got 1 billion fucking views, but people like talking about cheating more, so I'm gonna fucking talk about cheating.
Right.
Okay?
This is the type of stuff that can reel people in to really get into what you want to talk about.
I agree.
Yeah.
So what I said earlier was that 100% of women want to sleep with the top 10% of guys. What percentage of Americans total you think make $100,000 or more a year? Guess.
Was it 2%?
That's between under 40, right? Because most people, their prime earning years are in their 40s and 50s.
Right.
So 15% of Americans make $100,000 or more. 15%. That's $100,000. Now most girls, $100,000 is just to get in the door. Most girls want a millionaire. What percentage of people you think make $1 million a year? 0.01. Okay. So what SNEAKO's basically surmising here is the game's fucked up. I agree with you.
Yeah.
Right? Especially girls these days, if you want to follow concept of hypergamy, which I'm sure you're well versed on, women are making more money. The more money a woman will make, a woman will only date someone that is a cross and above. Like, you will never date a guy below you, correct?
Probably not.
No, definitely not, baby. You're a supermodel, okay? You're not dating some fucking
Come on,
schmuck.
Heather. You
It's
know
not
you
gonna
wouldn't,
happen,
girl.
Heather. You can be real. So the point is this, what SNEAKO is drawing attention to is that in this case, if you're under 40, so you're talking now like the real sexual marketplace, who wants a fucking old dude or an old chick? I mean, so he's saying like the dating world, people, our age, young out there, only 2% of us are making 100 grand or more. I am. He is. Bang us, ladies. But the point is, all women want these types of guys. So he's just calling attention to the facts of the matter.
Yeah.
So is that controversial? Sure. Is it truth? Also real.
Yes.
So that's all I'm saying here.
Doesn't that go back to we were talking about cheating earlier? If all women want these types of guys, shouldn't women also accept that they have to share these guys?
I think that's a very broad blanket statement saying all women want this. I think there's a vast majority of America that's happy with average.
Really?
Yeah, I think
I don't know if anybody's happy with average, but here's what I will agree. I'm never, I'm just using it myself. I'm not an advocate of the words all, always, 0,
That's what I'm saying.
100,
He's saying all women.
Never.
Exactly.
There's rules and there's exceptions. Is that what you're saying? But
yes.
back to your point.
I think you should ask more women about this because they don't realize what the average salary is, and social media has inflated a lot of women's expectations and ego. And so if you ask most of your friends, and pretty much like any of the women in your phone, none of them would say like, oh yeah, I want a guy with $50K a year. All of them will think, you could ask for yourself, well, why not a 6-figure man?
Well, I surround myself with high value women who all make at least that much on their own. So, as we were just saying, women like to date up. But what I'm saying is a lot of America is happy with average, and that's okay too. I mean, we live in South Florida, Miami, Fort Lauderdale. This isn't reality here. This is like a very abstract reality where we think everyone is, rich and everyone's trying to keep up with the Joneses. I mean, you see somebody driving a Lambo down South Beach, it's probably rented. And a lot of people who come here, they don't realize that, so that's all I'm trying to say is a lot of it's fake.
Yeah, well, here, let's play a clip about Miami. Actually, you've been in Miami how long?
2 months.
Okay, welcome to Miami. So there's a clip right here, 456. Let's talk about Miami for a second. By the way, Nat, you can go to 1.0 because we don't need to go too fast.
Okay.
This is at
436?
436.
Okay.
And to become the best version of myself. All that shit is not interesting to me. So everything in Miami is just, it's repulsive. There's nothing in Miami for me. Does that make sense? If you went to Miami and you didn't want sluts, didn't want drugs, and didn't want to go to restaurants and pubs, why are you in Miami? There's nothing there. It's just degenerate godlessness. I don't like it. I hope you understand me. I'll do my best for you, but I don't like it. I'm here in Dubai. It's beautiful. The mosque is close by. I've got very important.
Great content needs a great audience.
Pause it right there. Is that essentially what you're saying about Miami?
Yeah, I think it's full of a lot of people trying to put on this image that, they're this great person or they have all this money and they're just trying to put on a show. The reality is that most of them are broke.
So the natural question is, what are you doing down here?
I don't live in Miami. And I'm from small town. I'm from small town West Virginia. Listen, okay. No, I don't see myself here full time. This isn't somewhere that I would want to raise a family. That's what I'm trying to say. I think it's a good place to make money. It's a good place, for opportunity, and that's why I'm here. I came down here, went to law school, got a job, and that's why I'm here. But not somewhere where I would want.
Not where you're going to end up.
Not where I'm going to end up,
and
not
where.
You've
been here how long?
5 years.
That's what they all say. Then they're here 10 years, and then they're
just not the ideal place to raise
SNEAKO,
a family.
Why'd you move to Miami a month and a half ago?
I think it's one of the last free places in America.
Florida
was a refugee place that I went to during the pandemic when I wanted to get away from all the restriction bullshit. There's a lot of DeSantis is talking a lot about. I don't want to get you a strike, but talking about the truth about everything that happened in the pandemic, and I appreciate that. I got my gun as soon as I got here. And the taxes are lower. It embodies a lot of what I believe in when it comes to American
But that's Florida.
freedom.
There's a reason you're living in Miami. You can go live in Tallahassee, bro. You can go live in
I like
Panhandle.
cities. I'm from New York. I like cities.
But there's a reason you're in Miami. I've lived all over Florida. I went to school at Florida State. I've lived in I spent a lot of time in Gainesville. I lived in West Palm. I spent time at Palm Beach. You can go to the Keys.
Yeah, of course.
I'm in Miami for a reason.
Beautiful women
What's
here.
the reason?
I have a lot of friends here as well. I don't know anybody in Tallahassee or Tampa. I'm not going to go and like, what am I going to do out there? I know people here. The women are beautiful. The weather's nice. Right. The ocean's right there. It's Miami.
What I will say is that there is some truth to what Tate is saying. And that's not, it is a little hyperbolic, but like I'm born and raised in Miami, so it's like I didn't grow up in a club, but I kind of grew up in a club. You know what I'm saying? Like I have friends and family and grandmas down the street. And my mom, like, but a lot of what he's saying about Miami is partying, restaurants, clout, yachts, boats, chicks, fake titties, drugs, nightlife. That's all here, bro. And like, if that's what you're looking for, you should stay in Miami. And like, a lot of the reasons that people are in Miami are for those exact same reasons. Now, sure, you could like to go to the ocean. There's ocean all above Florida. So what he's essentially telling Aiden right here is like, what the hell? Because I think Aiden is from South Florida.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, Boca, I think.
Boca, I want to say. But he's not wrong about Miami. That's all I want to say. Mm-hmm. But you would agree that
I don't think there's a lot of hope for America, but people like Ye and people like Nick Fuentes, I think, are possible people that could really shake up the room. If it keeps going the way it's going, I don't see America having a positive future. I think you need God to guide a country. And the Tates have accepted that they don't want to invest their futures in America or in England. That's why I think they're choosing Dubai, because it's led by God. It's a Muslim place. But
God is led through people. God doesn't come down and like lead. It's led through people.
What is?
Like God, you're saying like God leads, right?
Yeah.
But like God doesn't come down and lead. He leads through the people, like his followers.
Right, and there's less God followers in America than there ever has been. Especially when I grew up, it used to be pretty dominant, but you see it less and less. Right. And you see the results of it. LA is a completely degenerate place. So we need somebody to come back and instill the values that are necessary to keep a country going. There's very few people who are doing that.
Right.
But
yeah, I actually, there's parts of that I agree with, and there's parts of that I strongly disagree with, and I'll tell you why. Do I agree that like, well, the most practiced religion at this point is no religion. Like you check a box, you're Christian, you're Catholic, you're Jewish, you're Muslim. Like now the most checked off box is nothing, like agnostic, atheist, all that. So there is part of that, and there is some truth behind like, America was founded on Judeo-Christian values, no doubt. Okay, but at the same time, I'm living in America. I'm doubling down on America. I'm not leaving America. I'm not going to go live in Dubai. I'm not going to Romania. I'm not going to live in Europe. I'm not moving to Spain. I'm staying in America. I'm not leaving. Okay? As Leonardo DiCaprio once famously said. So what Natalia's saying is true, is that it comes down to, for people to lead. This is why it's so important for our friends out there in social media world, for young men like this to have a voice. Right. Because there is some God-fearing advocacy here. This is why you don't just cancel people, because you got to take the good with the bad. You don't throw out the baby with the bathwater, right? So I want to make America a better place. Not to get all MAGA on everybody, but America, in many respects has lost its way. But it takes leaders and leadership to help it find its way. Tate's not coming back to America. That's God bless. Do your thing in Romania. All good. Do your thing in Dubai. I'm all about America. And I know a lot of Americans who are like, yeah, I want to see America do better. But if you truly are an American, truly, home of the free, land of the brave, that whole thing, land of the free, home of the brave, I almost butchered that. You try to make America better. Do you not? Would you ever leave America?
I would.
You would?
I would, but few
Why?
people
Why
give
would
me
you
hope.
leave America?
I just don't see a positive direction of the way it's going.
So you're not a true American?
I guess not, if I'm considering leaving. But there's few people. I think Ye is going to run in the future, and I think someone like Nick Fuentes could run for president and actually save the country. That's my prediction. But if they keep pushing this globalist agenda and the politicians keep getting bought out by the woke globalists. The World Economic Forum keeps pushing this. Like what happened with FTX, they're not even. A lot of people are not talking about that enough. They were funneling money into the Democratic Party.
No, people are talking about Sam Bankman-Fried.
Not
other
really.
Than George Soros, he was the #2 donor.
I don't see it in the mainstream news talked up, and they talk more about Pete Davidson. The regular people are talking about celebrity drama, and they're not even realizing that the woke agenda has all been propagated by the elites to make us brainwashed and stupid.
Whose choice is that, though, bro? That you can go get a mixed media diet wherever you want. YouTube's free. Google's free. If you're a fucking schmuck and you want to keep up with the Kardashians all day, that's your choice, baby. If you want to go watch the Wall Street Journal, you want to watch Valuetainment, you want to go read articles, that's on you. It's no secret that there's alternative channels out there.
Right, but people are lazy, and we have to realize most people aren't going to look at the alternative sites.
Well, you know what I always say? Most people are most people. So most people, like what percentage of people get A's in school, B's in school, C's, D's, F's? I'll give you the answer. The top 10% get A's. The top 20% get B's. There's a whole bunch of fucking C's. And then you got some morons getting D's and F's at the bottom, bottom 20%. Most people are the C's. Most people are living paycheck to paycheck. Most people are overweight. Most people are most people. It's kind of the whole premise here is that I want you to get better, faster, stronger, cooler, sexier, smarter, wealthier, all that. But that takes commitment. It's hard work. They always say, if it was easy, everyone would do it. Well, if it was easy, everyone would be a millionaire. If it was easy, we'd have a fucking six-pack. If it was easy, you would have a bunch of chicks. Most people are most people.
That's what I was trying to say when I was saying most of America is average, and they're okay with it.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
You have a gorgeous girl right here. You got a fit model dude right here, a smart guy. How much did it take for you to get to this? You weren't just bored. You didn't roll out of bed looking like this. You had to work out. You had to eat healthy. You went to fucking law school. Hello, you had to get your makeup done. You had to look good. You're trying. You're looking good. Like your teeth are white as shit. I don't know if you see that in the camera. Like it takes hard work. Okay? This guy's smart. He's not an idiot whatsoever. I'm sure the comments like fucking SNEAKO's an idiot. Not an idiot at all. Smart guy, in shape, good looking, wealthy, has made some money. Okay? He's a model. Like it takes hard work to get to this point. You think I just rolled out of bed and they gave me a fucking TV show? It took me 40 years becoming a millionaire, owning nightclubs, developing a financial firm to get to this point. Most people are not. There's a reason that there's thousands and thousands of people watching and only 4 people on stage.
That's
most people are most people. Shout out to the viewers, though. We love you.
We love you.
We want you to improve. We want you to become the next
chats.
They're not willing to put in the hard work.
No, most people are not. But if you're one of the few, the proud, the brave, you'll end up on a show like this.
Yeah.
Okay.
I always say haters don't hate you, they hate your dream and the fact that they're not willing to muster up the courage to go after their dreams too. And so they don't hate you, they hate your dream.
Got it. Love that. You need to use a bathroom. You got about 15 minutes left in you. How you feeling?
I'm great, yeah.
You good?
Yeah.
You smoke weed or no?
No.
Why not?
I quit.
When did you quit?
When I started live streaming.
How long ago?
About 4 months ago.
Yeah.
Sometime this summer.
So you just quit weed?
Yeah, after 9 years of smoking.
Oh, you would smoke every day?
Every day.
For 9 years?
Pretty much, yeah.
What was the straw that broke the camel's back?
Actually listening to Tristan Tate talk about it.
What did he say?
He was just talking about how it's detrimental and how it ruins your productivity, and I decided, I was watching a lot of that content and they were inspiring me. I decided to let go, and then I started making more money than I've ever made. So it had a positive effect almost immediately.
You do drugs?
That's a change. That's a good change for you.
Of course, it's great.
You're growing.
Do you ever do drugs?
Yeah, I'd done most drugs except for like crack and heroin.
Thank God.
Right. I don't recommend it for anybody, but psychedelics help change my perspective a lot.
Yeah, so you'll do some shrooms every once in a while? LSD?
Yeah, I used to do LSD. I don't like doing it that much anymore, but I don't recommend it for most people watching. I think most people are not ready for it.
Most people are most people. You ever done DMT?
That was such a Joe Rogan question. No, I haven't. Actually, no, one time, but not the full dose.
You ever met Joe Rogan?
No.
You ever want to meet Joe Rogan?
Of course, who wouldn't?
Cool dude. I went on a double date with Joe Rogan in 2004 at the Aspen Comedy Festival. Shout out to those 2 young ladies. But it was cool. We were both doing stand-up comedy at the time. I wouldn't call it a double date. We hung out with 2 ladies. But what is he? He does ayahuasca and DMT?
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you ever want to try that?
Yeah, I have. I would.
You have?
I have one time.
You've done ayahuasca?
I think it's the same thing, ayahuasca, DMT.
DMT is, I think you smoke it, and I think ayahuasca is like an extreme form of it. How'd that do for you?
I didn't take that much of a dose, so I can't really report on it till I...
Got it. The reason I asked about the weed thing is you've got like a I just smoked a joint, chill kind of vibe. I'm not saying that you're high at all. I'm just saying you're just like, I'm chill. Is that just naturally your personality?
That's me.
That's you. Hey, welcome to SNEAKO's world, baby. What's the difference between SNEAKO and SNEAKO?
SNEAKO was my second channel that got terminated. And the main channel
that got taken down too?
They all got taken down. Even the fan channels, everything got terminated.
So is there a hidden meaning behind SNEAKO? Like, is SNEAKO your alter ego? Like, SNEAKO's the nice guy and SNEAKO's like the bad boy. You know, like...
I mean, I wish I had... no, it's just needed a second channel name.
Second channel, bro.
Yeah.
You're reaching here for a second. Heather, you do drugs?
No.
Party?
No.
Drink? Nothing?
I drink socially.
You want another cocktail?
No, thanks.
Okay, we got 15 minutes left. You good?
I'm good.
Let me text Eric and make sure he's cool with that.
You want me to read some
there he
chats?
is. Nat, text him. All right, a couple more clips and we'll get this party ended right now. By the way, are we going to answer super chats? Do we have super chats we want to answer?
Super chats, yeah.
Want to do that at the
questions.
end?
We can do it at the end. So
let's do it at the end.
Yeah.
All right.
Make sure you guys get them in so we can read them, and I will be reading all of them.
We'll do super chats at the end.
Yes.
We appreciate you guys being here. By the way, I'm going to do the obligatory subscribe, comment, like, just because, you know, this is what we're doing around here. I might as well just tap in. But we appreciate that. Let's talk about this clip right here. From 8/22 to 9/11, why sex with a bunch of women is meaningless. This is what Tate has to say. 8/22.
Children. The woman doesn't do that. The woman keeps the children alive while the man's away. So I'm saying that a woman who...
Motion array is the quick...
Nat, pause it.
way
Put
to
it
make-
on 1.0, no longer 1.5.
All right. Just let this run.
Hit skip ads.
I am.
Volume. 8/22.
His children. The woman doesn't do that. The woman keeps the children alive while the man's away. So I'm saying that a woman who understands that being a mother is the best thing she could possibly be will be a good mother. Miami girls don't think that. Miami think that girls think that get the most Instagram followers and go to the best club nights matters more. And I don't want to sleep with a woman who I'm not going to have a future and a family with anymore. I don't want to do that. I've slept with thousands of women, Aiden. Thousands of women. You could put them in front of me. I wouldn't be able to remember most of their names. It's bullshit. I did, but it's pointless. Like, it was fun at the time. I'm not complaining. I've had more sex than any man could possibly dream of. I had 75 beautiful women working for me. I've done all of it. And I'm not saying it's necessarily inherently bad, but you get to a point where you understand that it's a waste of your energy, is a waste of your masculine imperative. I'll tell you another thing. A lot of men like sleeping with girls because of the ego hit, right? So when you get a lot of these other Twitch streamers who think they're famous.
Thanks, Nat. It's interesting. I think Tate's saying a lot of things that I haven't heard him say before. He said this is the first time he's saying that, yeah, I'm over kind of banging a bunch of random chicks, right? I'm in that camp where it's like, all right, like my notch count's not low, let's just say that. At this point, it's like, yeah, if I'm really going to kind of spend some time with a chick, it's going to be a girl that I could see myself maybe having something serious with right there. Have you not noticed a sort of a transition with his mentality, or at least what he's advocating at this point?
Or maybe like an innovation?
There's a level of maturity, too, going towards fatherhood.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's what I was kind of asking you before. Like, your tune's going to probably change in 10 years, right?
Perhaps. But also, I think I understand that a lot of it is trying to inspire men to act like men and fuck a bunch of girls. That message beforehand wasn't like firing up guys like, yeah, let's go out.
Right.
Which was there was a lack of that. There was a lot of everyone suppressing, everyone apologizing, everybody crying, and a bunch of feminism. And this was somebody who was needing to inspire that, yo, go fuck some bitches. And now that he had that, he said that message. Now it's time to really get to the purpose of why sex exists anyway.
Yeah, I think that's part of growing up, bro. I just think, like, you know, when you're young, we're going to play a clip right here. Like, you got to understand what's happening right here in this, okay? And I'm not trying to be like your big brother we just met today at all. But there is some symbolism here, is that a 35-year-old grown-ass man worth however many millions of dollars, okay, who's, as he's proclaiming has banged thousands of women, I don't doubt it, is teaching a 22-year-old kid who's probably banged one girl his whole life, like how to operate. Now, if I'm a 22-year-old kid and a grown man, it's like, settle down, find one good girl. I'm thinking, bro, I'm just trying to get laid. I'm trying to fuck as many girls as possible. And like, this is sort of like a metaphor for like, when you're young, you want this, but once you've had it, you kind of want something different, right? Like there's a part right here where he says, the difference between him and Dan Bilzerian, right? 11:45.
But I'm telling you, I do my very best to avoid all of this, Aiden. I'm in a mansion right now. I could be doing a Dan Bilzerian. Dan's a fucking G. I love Dan. I've seen him a bunch of times. He's super smart. I could do the same. I could have 50 girls here. And guess how many girls are in my house, Aiden? 0. I don't want them here.
I don't want them here. So I think, like, how are you processing that when you hear him say stuff like this? Like, you've already said the messaging that he did for the last few years is different than what he's saying here. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what do you think? Why do you think that is? Do you think he's doing that because...
Both messages are important to hear.
Yeah.
I think both were necessary, but you can't just be the guy saying, fuck bitches forever. There's a purpose for sex, and we need to settle down and have a family at some point. So both is necessary, and I'm glad he's adapting his message. I don't think he's really like switched up like a lot of people say since he's been banned. It's just this is what needs to be heard. This is what men need to hear.
I think he has switched up, though. I think he's basically saying, this is what I was, and this is who I am.
I wouldn't say that. I'm gonna push
back on you,
Adam. Yeah, because to me, like, this is somebody who's maybe innovated themselves. You know, they went through a phase of, you know, he was trending. He was saying all these bold statements. He was, you know, essentially saying things that offended people and got him canceled and etc. But he's also now in a different place in his life where he does have wives and he does have kids, and because of that, like, decisions are different, you know, and responsibilities are different. And sometimes, like, in life, it's about growing and innovating. And to me, like, I see this clip, like these clips, and I'm like, oh, he's settling into a new version of himself. And I think it's phenomenal. I think, like SNEAKO said, both sides should be heard, because not all men are where Tate is now. So they can only relate so much. But you know, the other things that he says, it's locker room talk for men. And I think that's also needed for where a lot of the guys' masculinity is very low right now. So to me, it's innovating. I don't think he's switched up. I think he's being exposed to a new perspective. And for people who are in that phase, I think it's a very helpful perspective. So that's where I see it. I don't really see it as, like, switched up.
Look, you got to always reinvent yourself.
Right.
Okay? I mean, this is we talked about this on PBD Podcast. Yep. I can't do the same money content I was doing 4 years ago. Like, me doing some content about the difference between a 401k and a Roth IRA, the thought of that, I want to kill myself. Okay? Like, it's just boring. It's done. I mean, you would agree your content is probably not the same as it was 4 years ago. 4 years ago, you were doing more Twitch video game stuff, were you not?
I was doing street interviews 4 years ago mostly.
Okay.
Like, well-edited short films, like artistic, creative.
Why did I think you were doing more Twitch?
That was further back. I never really was on. I was never on Twitch.
Gotcha.
That was just doing.
Well, you've switched it up. You had to reinvent yourself.
You have to adapt. Right?
You have to. I mean, Darwinism. Hello, right? You're not doing the same thing you were doing 4 years ago. You're not. Right?
True. Yeah. No, I mean, I had to move to Montana and start over there, and start over. So I agree. You got to adapt with the times and constantly make an effort towards becoming a better version of yourself.
I agree. Last couple things, and then we'll wrap up right here. We've kind of discussed the Miami a little bit, but so we won't go there. This part right here about 11:11 to 11:30 about what women really want in a man. Let's talk about that.
They're like, finally, you're not a bitch. You're a real man. Women come up to me and they adore me. They literally fucking offer me their hand in marriage. You're a real man. You understand to protect and provide. You're so brave. You say what you're supposed to say. You're exactly like my father was. You're not a coward. Women throw themselves at me for telling the truth. Women have always loved a man of substance and standard and an alpha male. Women are desperate to be seen with me at every single party. They're
cool. Yeah, I mean, what are your thoughts on Tate? You said you didn't really know him before this?
No, I mean, I have only heard bad things about him, but I do agree with that. I think women want a man who's courageous and, can protect and provide like we were talking about earlier. So I agree with that 100%.
So I think that's so funny. I think you've only heard bad things about him, right? Like, what have you heard exactly?
I mean, not a lot, but I just have heard the name, obviously, and the word misogynist comes to mind whenever I think of him.
Yeah.
But what I've heard right there, I totally agree with that. I don't think that's misogynistic at all for, women saying that women want a man who is successful, status, and can provide. I don't see anything wrong with that.
So this is the problem with these labels these days and people getting hurt by words is that, like, you hear this term toxic masculinity. What does that mean? Back in the day, I'm a man.
Right.
Like when they were storming the beaches of Normandy during World War I and they were losing their lives.
World War II.
Well, I'm sorry, World War II. My apologies to my veterans out there. I know the difference. Was that toxic masculinity? Guys who work out and are big and strong, is that toxic? Guys who have sex with a lot of chicks, is that toxic? I don't know. I mean, these are the types of terms that are getting thrown out there. But what I think is so important about what you're saying, what you're establishing, is you're like, no, what he's saying, I fully agree with. I want a man who can provide, protect, and can be present and be a man.
Right. I think people take these terms like toxic masculinity and they run with it and just create this whole agenda in their mind. But there's nothing wrong with masculinity. There's nothing wrong with being a man. And I think we need more men to step up and be more masculine, especially in today's society with cancel culture and everything we've been talking about today.
I agree. Can we make sure that her mic is okay? SNEAKO, thoughts on what he's basically saying about being a man?
It's necessary to hear. But I also think that Aiden is still probably going to indulge in hedonistic behavior. I think all men need to base their experiences on past trauma, or they need to go through it in order to understand it. So Aiden's hearing the truth right now, but he will still go and fuck bitches and enjoy LA and enjoy his youth.
Okay, but what do you mean by hedonism? Hedonism is just doing what you want to do. Like, find the definition of hedonism real quick. I think that's just self-indulgence, whether that's eating, drinking, fucking, sexing, drugging. I mean, you're not totally against hedonism, right?
No, not at all.
Okay. So are you saying that Aiden
But
shouldn't
ultimately,
explore
it's
that?
a waste of time. It's a waste of time chasing simple dopamine instead of trying to invest your time with your masculine imperative, as Tate said. We will always indulge, and we're still going to do shit that just makes us feel good right now instead of investing our time properly. And Aiden's hearing the truth, and he's hearing from a man that's much older, but he will still go through it. And so will most of the men hearing this stream. And so will I. But we need to go through it in order to fully understand it. Like, I can hear it, and I understand that Andrew's saying the truth, but I will still indulge, and I will still enjoy the fruits of my labor until I get that old man sigh, and I'm like, it's time to settle down.
Dude, by the way, you're 1,000% correct. Because what's the difference between Aiden and Tate?
Age, experience, wisdom, been there, done that, money, clout, experience, women. The list goes on and on. So, as a 22-year-old, how receptive are you going to be to a message of settle down, one woman, don't masturbate, don't watch porn, don't do drugs, don't find girls, don't worry about that, don't find pleasure, just, find Allah and just live a simple life. You got Aiden Ross out here who's probably banged one girl in his life. He's probably just starting to make money because he's making YouTube. I'm sure he's doing okay. Does not have experience, does not have any of the things Tate has. How receptive would you possibly be? Like everything you just said, I fully agree with, because he should go there. Do all that, make mistakes, fuck up, have a breakup, have a heartbreak, lose money, get fucked up, do drugs, like experience life. So by the time you are 35, 40, you can kind of have the wisdom that Tate is imparting. By the way, Tate's not a hypocrite because he's done all of that. And now he's saying, been there, done that. There's a reason there's a phrase for that. Been there, done that. Now it's time to do something different. I fully understand that. But like, this kid Aiden Ross is hilarious. How he's like, oh yeah, where do I get a wife like that? Like, his responses are actually very cute. But he's not going to listen to Tate's message. Don't you agree? He will listen, but he won't fully do exactly what Tate is saying. And even what I've been thinking about this topic a lot. I think even Andrew is saying what he knows is the most impactful words that he can put out into the world right now. The world needs to be more God-fearing. The world needs traditional values back. The world needs more of a masculine presence. And the world needs to hear everything that he's saying and needs that valid criticism about how godless it's becoming and how degenerate it's becoming and how attention-obsessed and how we're chasing our ego. And so he's choosing his words very carefully because he's realized how powerful his words are. But I think a lot of these people that speak about God, a lot of times behind the scenes, people still indulge too. So who knows even how much Andrew's following this. For example, Martin Luther King would talk a lot about peace and family values and everything, but people knew like behind the scenes that he was cheating, and people talk about that and how that maybe criticizes what he was talking about. So basically, I think a lot of men realize when you have that much influence, you need to say what the world really needs to hear. How can I choose my words carefully so that I can leave the world better than when I arrived? And who knows? I personally don't know if he's fully following this, and he's probably saying things that he wants to believe too. But myself, the reason that I speak about God myself all the time and have a really religious audience, even though I'm not a religious person completely, I'm here drinking alcohol and I have a big Muslim audience, is because I know that that's the best use of my words on this platform. And I think that that's a big reason why they banned me. One of the last tweets I had was "God is good." I think that was the last tweet. It was "God is good." And I'm still struggling even fully believing in God and being a God-fearing person, but I know that the amount of people that listen to what I'm saying, that will inspire more people, and that message of good is what is necessary for society to function.
Respect, bro. All right, last couple things, then we'll wrap up. I want to talk about this bigger sense of purpose, right? Because you kind of referenced that. Nat, if you go to 355, the one kind of closer to the top, is where Tate talks about his purpose, and I'd like to get what you guys see as your purpose. So 355 to 434.
Miami, I might maybe go to Miami at some point. Maybe. But you have to understand that the worldly goods, the worldly things that people find interesting, I'm totally and utterly beyond. I don't care about money. I have too much of it. I don't need fame. I have enough of that. I don't want hoes. I don't want sex with random women. I don't want clubs. I don't want restaurants. All of that is boring to me. The only thing that I find interesting is genuinely trying to save humanity by combating the matrix and opening up minds to be freed and worshiping God and God blessing me and favoring me and trying to become the best version of myself.
I got to tell you, I mean, that is what I would call growth. Everything that he just said is very 22-year-old. I just want to party, do drugs, have fun, fuck bitches. I get that. Then he talked about saving humanity, exposing the matrix, helping people, helping humanity. He goes on to basically saying how he donates to charity and helps people in Dubai. Like, as much as Tate gets hated on for being a misogynist, chauvinist, we're watching him grow before our eyes. We're watching all of us grow before our eyes. And his deeper sense of purpose. So, for instance, I almost retired when I was 35. I was like, I made my money. I was good. What do I want to do? I'd already traveled. The girl I was with, we went to St. Bart's, we went to Mykonos, I did it. I bought her the fucking purses. I was like, there's got to be more to this. And what I say is that, retirement, Tate could retire, technically. Retirement is sort of an antiquated term. It's really when you make enough money to do what you want to do, you are now, quote unquote, chillin', right? So I found myself chillin' at age 35. Chillin' is when you own your time. Okay, I talk about this all the time. And there's only a few things you can do when you own your time. When I was basically, or when you're retired. So for instance, I'll ask you guys, if you had all the money in the world, what would you do with your free time? What would you do?
I was thinking more, my thought process was going of my purpose in life. So that's that's where I was going with it. But I think I'm a strong believer that everything happens for a reason. And as we were talking about, I went to law school. And when I was in law school, I didn't really know why, but I just kind of trusted the process. And then I kind of fell into the practice area of estate planning and asset protection, and I didn't really know why. Yeah. But then my dad passed away 2 years ago, and I was exposed to that industry. And then I found my why. That's why I went to law school. I want to be able to help people who are also in that position. And now that I've been through it myself, I can empathize with them. And now with the whole Miss USA controversy and, you know, reading the contracts and did the girl who won, did she break the contract? I want to help other models, pageant girls, influencers, whatever you want to call it, read their contracts before they get into these agreements. Because most of these girls, they don't know what they're signing. You know, it takes a lawyer to read the contract and really explain it to someone. The lay person doesn't understand all the legal jargon. So I want to be the person to explain that to them and to set them up for success. So in the moment, you might not realize why you're going through these things, but everything happens for a reason. It will all make sense in the end. And just find your purpose and your adversity and turn your darkest times into your purpose in life.
So, SNEAKO, if like essentially what I was getting at is this. I asked people, you know, if you had all the money in the world, you probably wouldn't be practicing law anymore, would you?
Would I be practicing? No, but I would still like to help people and still be fulfilling that.
Well, there you go.
That purpose.
You just answered the question. You want to help people
right.
at the end of the day. So when I ask people if they're chilling, they have all the money, everyone says the same 3 or 4 answers. They want to travel. They want to see the world, right? They want to pursue a passion, right, that they would do essentially for free. They want to donate and give back their time, or they want to leave a legacy. That's what it is. Like if you ask any millionaire, billionaire, they've done all that, been there, done that. Now they want to leave a legacy, whether that's philanthropic or a charity. That's all that. So, SNEAKO, like, what do you envision as your purpose?
I would be doing exactly what I'm doing right now if I had all the same money. I realized at a young age that the highest form of satisfaction is inspiration. I think that's the best use of your time. And that's where I get the most amount of happiness from, is not from simple pleasures, not from materialism, not from money or indulgence or hedonism. All that I inherently know is a waste of time, but the best feeling I get is when someone comes up to me and says, like, yo, you really inspired me, like, thank you. Or when someone says, I really like the way you made me think in a new way. Adding value to the world in terms of inspiration and opening up people's minds is the best use of my time. So if I had all the money in the world, I would still be live streaming, and I would still be trying to seek the truth through funny and try to wake people up and spread the information that I know and tell people the same mistakes that I've made and how they can avoid them. I would try to continue inspiring.
I listen, I think it's a noble message. I don't think that's a cancelable message at all, bro.
Well, that's why they canceled that. And that's why they put James Charles and Ethan Decline. They put like garbage people on the front of the trending page. They put Shane Dawson, a pedophile, #1 trending, who's been exposed for that. They don't delete him. They want you to be dumber, weaker, stupid. And they want you to be involved in drama. That's why the Jeffrey Dahmer documentary goes viral and everybody's watching a serial killer and romanticizing and dressing up as him. And the families of the victims are still alive. And so that person gets celebrated, and that's in everybody's psyche to make you weaker and stupider, so that we're like, oh, what about a serial killer? It makes people scared. It instills fear into the minds of the public. There's a reason why that's pushed, and God-fearing people are the ones who always get canceled. I realize that about everybody who's been deleted. Alex Jones, Ye, Andrew Tate, myself, Nick Fuente, all these people all have a similar message when you cut past the bullshit. When you get past a layer of why they were canceled, conspiracy theorists, misogynists, racists, or whatever, you get past that and you think about what they're actually saying. It's a very similar message, and there's something that all the canceled people have in common.
And what's that?
That they are trying to spread the truth, they're trying to wake people up, they're trying to spread God's message, and they actively want that to be silenced. There's always been a conspiracy theory that whenever you talk about God on the news, they change the station. Ye, his first song, he talked Jesus Walks, his first radio single, he said, but he could talk about materialism, but when I talk about God, my record won't get played, huh? They silence that, but then you listen to the music on the radio, they're encouraging murder, robbing, fucking your bitch, fucking your wife, twerking, just a bunch of like, just being a whore, wet-ass pussy. It's just encouraging.
The WAP.
Yikes.
Right. It's really strategically used to keep everybody controlled. And so when you talk about most people are most people, there's a reason why they silence people who are trying to get people to not be most people, because they need everybody controlled. They need to have the sheep to keep society functioning. But I don't think that we need to run the world like that. I think that there's too much division, and too select few people have all the power, have all the money and influence, and it needs to be divided more. People need to know that, no, you don't need to be a slave to what these demonic people are telling you to do.
I have one simple question for you, then we'll wrap up. If you can choose not to have been canceled and reverse it and be back on all these platforms and still saying what you're saying, but not be canceled, would you want that, or are you actually relishing the fact that you've been deplatformed and canceled? What would you choose?
I agree with you. I think everything happens for a reason. I think this was supposed to happen. It was getting to a point where it was getting extremely easy. I grew almost 1 million subscribers on my second channel in 3 months. And I figured out the formula. I figured out how to get past the system. I was exposing a lot of the people that say the exact same thing. And it was just getting fun. It was getting too easy. People were coming in too quickly and they needed to do something. So I needed a new challenge. I needed to go to Rumble to make it more difficult. I needed a bigger mountain to climb. And no, I don't regret it because I understand that Gen Z's attention span is getting worse. And so most people are going to only consume this podcast, for example, and a 10-second clip and then judge it based off that. That's why you thought that Andrew Tate was a misogynist, or why people like Nick Fuentes get called a racist. They hear one clip, one headline, racist, and then they move on to the next thing and they continue watching Keeping Up with the Kardashians, Jeffrey Dahmer documentaries, listening to drill music, and just lowering whatever's in their head. So no. But now that's the tool. Getting people to come in from the short form content, capturing their attention in 10-second clips, and then bringing them to a website like Rumble where I could really tell you the truth.
Gotcha. All right, we'll do a quick game of word association. We'll wrap up. So I'm going to say a name. You say the first thing that comes to mind. By the way, you could beat, if you have a strong opinion on any of these names, you could beat SNEAKO to the punch. Don't hold back, okay? I'm going to say these names. Say the first word that comes to mind. You could use more than a word. We got to do this in less than a minute, then we'll wrap up. You ready? Fresh and fit.
Misogynist.
Who's more of a misogynist, Myron or Fresh?
I don't think either are misogynist. That's just the first word that comes to my mind. Just like Andrew Tate, a misogynist. You hear it so much. That's the programming.
Wow.
Gotcha.
I don't know who that is, so I can't chime in on that.
Andrew Tate.
I already said misogynist on that one, but I mean, I've been enlightened a little bit.
Yeah.
So.
First word was God.
God.
Yeah.
Tristan Tate.
Playboy.
Playboy. Okay.
I don't know any of these people. Maybe I am.
You're about to find out.
You're really into the manosphere stuff, huh?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm green pill. I'm all about the money, baby. And I'm red pill adjacent. I'm not all red pill, but I'm 80, 90% there. But these are my people, right? I like, dude, I've said this quite candidly. This isn't a get you interview. I agree with 90% of what you're saying.
What's the 10%?
I just think there's some things that you're going to change. I think to be, there's some maybe political ideologies that I think are different. I think there's some female differences, but we're not the same person, bro. That's what makes us different. You don't agree with everything I say, do you?
I mean, there's nothing that I really disagree with now.
All right. But the point is, you're never going to agree 100% on anything. That's all I'm saying. Going down the list here. Logan Paul.
Boxing. Right? Isn't he like a fighter or something? I don't know.
I thought canceled.
Canceled?
Yeah. Oh, has he been canceled too?
Jake Paul.
Or is he the boxer?
Yeah.
They're twins, right? Or brothers, something?
But beyond boxing.
Problem child.
Problem child. Okay. Jordan Welch.
Money.
Destiny.
Lib.
By the way, you have a very unique relationship with this guy, Destiny.
Yeah.
Explain that relationship real quick.
I consider him a friend. Yeah. And I like him. He's one of the few liberals that I actually enjoyed hanging out with. And we hang out off stream too, but we have so many debates. Yeah. We've debated for hours and hours and hours. And even recently he reviewed a debate I had with Nick Fuentes after the Trump announcement and said that I'm improving my debate skills. He's one of the best debaters that I've ever seen.
Very smart. He was just on the show recently.
Yeah, he's a really smart guy.
We had a very kind of we're not going to eye to eye, but at the end of the day, we shook hands, respect. Yeah. I said, you've been called a lot of names. We're going to agree. We're going to disagree.
You called him like a gaming cuck, stuff like that?
I didn't. You're saying
no, I read stuff in the subreddit I haven't seen.
I mean, listen, I'll just say this. I think you can do a lot more with your time other than playing fucking video games. I think he did enlighten me that there were some benefits of it, but there's mostly negative. I play sports. I played basketball. I played football in college. There's a lot more you can learn from that than sitting in your home playing fucking computer. But he did say there's some teamwork and some stuff like that.
Yeah, the gaming part is like secondary. It's mostly like a visual component to his streams. Like I've watched his streams so much, and I don't even know what the hell game is playing. I don't even know. It's just something he does. Like most of the debates we have, he's like playing Minecraft and debating me at the same time. The guy's like autistic level smart. You talk to these guys like
very smart.
They're
very smart,
autistic, but also know how to communicate with normies.
I will say, I said, Destiny. I think it's very easy for a girl to be bisexual. I said, I know a lot of girls that are making out with other girls and doing stuff with other girls. We've all been to college, but it's cool. I don't know that many dudes that are bisexual. 100% of the people I've had sex with have been women. He said, yeah, I'm like at, 95%, 97% women? So I said, so 3% of the time you're sucking dick. He's like, yeah, I am. I go, that's a new one for me.
I've met some streamers, I don't want to name drop them, but they said that they think that Destiny's just doing that to appeal to the woke mob, to appeal to the liberals. Like the bisexual thing is just a grip, like, hey, I'm one of you. But he's actually like, bro, Destiny, I personally have never seen it. I genuinely don't think so.
But that's your boy, dog.
I think maybe he's done it, but I don't think the guy's bisexual. No. But I don't know.
You think it's a bit? You think it's
I also don't think it's a bit. I've heard people say that. I just think that he's went so far down the liberal rabbit hole that he ended up with a dick in his mouth, but I don't really know.
Hey, when that happens.
Yeah. So accidentally.
So 100% of the people you've had sex with have been women?
Yes.
Okay. 100% of the people you have sex with have been men or
Men,
no?
absolutely.
You've kissed girls though, right?
No.
No, really? Oh.
You're one of the few. What percentage of people do you think that he's actually had sex with have been women? He said 97%.
I was probably like, I'm not trying to like meat watch this guy, but like most of them. I don't want to think about that.
What,
shit
97%? What do you mean, bro?
I don't want to think about this. Nah.
Your boy sucks some dick sometimes.
Let him suck it. That's not my business. That's not my business.
Either is it mine, but again, I agree with 95% of what you said. I mean, but it's that 5% when that dick ends up.
Well, it's not that I disagree with that. It's just what he does.
Mm-hmm.
It's what he do.
There's a difference between agreeing with everything someone says and then just like being different, right? I disagree with so much of what Destiny talks about. He believes he trusts the government. He's just a liberal bot for the most part.
Yeah.
So we can actually have debates about subjects.
Yes.
But I mean, I don't disagree with him sucking dick. Like that's fine.
Yeah, I totally agree. I don't think that most guys can do that. I will say that. You don't know who this guy Destiny is. He was just on Lex Friedman, by the way. That was sick.
It was great, yeah.
It was great. Lex Friedman is very close with Rogan, and he interviewed Kanye. It was a sick interview. What I will say is I don't know many people like Destiny who are basically saying, Joe Biden's doing a great job, A+. I think we need more big government. I think we need to be paying more in taxes. Let's have more IRS. I'm like, Destiny, who the fuck wants any of that?
Nobody. It's funny that guys like these leftist streamers will go down this rabbit hole, but then also the dude lives in Miami, which is like one of the lowest states to ever pay taxes.
Yeah. Right.
Also, he's a millionaire.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you're really, you should give out your money to all these people.
That's what I asked him.
Also, he's a gun owner, which is pretty Republican. Most of these liberals want guns to be like, I'm like, are you really a liberal or are you just using these talking points?
He's a duck-sucking, gun-owning, liberal, high-tax-paying.
Tax evading.
He's an interesting dude.
It's funny. I think you can relate it to Tate's message and even similar to my message where when we're talking about God and traditional values, it's like I'm here drinking, but I'm like talking a lot about Islamic
When's
values.
the last time you debated him?
A couple weeks ago.
When's the last time you debated him with an impartial moderator?
Why, you want to do it?
Yeah.
Sure. We could do it in real life in here. That'd be fun. Sure.
And how about this? We have a live audience right here. Watch it. Hundreds of people.
Uh-oh.
Guys, comment in the chat below if you'd like to see.
He does. That's what he does. He goes to campuses all the time. He is a better debater than me. I will say that. I disagree with him.
Hey, don't sell yourself short.
I'm not gonna. I'll do it. I'll do it.
You got this.
I'll do it.
SNEAKO, that's a verbal contract, brother.
All right.
All right, last few things.
I'm drunk. I don't know what I'm saying. He made me drink.
There's
he
no
made
way
me drink.
You're drunk.
I don't consent to my words.
You had one drink.
I'm inebriated.
So you're calling yourself a lightweight.
I'm Asian glowing right now, right? I'm half Filipino. You see my red face?
One drink. Okay, last couple names we'll wrap up. We were talking word association. Abba Preach.
Fake.
KSI.
Whack.
By the way, who's faker, Abba or Preach?
Abba. Abba didn't need to make the reason I call him fake is like he played this role. Like I have his phone number and stuff like that. Like he kind of pretended that he was my friend, And then when I got canceled and the whole world was against me and like big tech was against me, the government was playing my videos in the Senate, he decided to make all these hippies videos about me and to play all the same clips like and put me in a bad light, not put the link to my channel anywhere. Like if you're really my friend or if you really like are like, I told you, I just want the best for you, I care about your money, then you would put the link to my channel. You would talk about the reason I actually got canceled was COVID misinformation, election misinformation. Instead, he chose the route to make several hippies videos and try to paint me in a bad picture to get easy views.
Got it. Last couple, we'll wrap up. Adam 22, no jumper.
Can we name some people I know?
I can't help it that you don't watch anyone on YouTube. He's the biggest people on YouTube.
He is a good-hearted devil worshiper. he has good intentions, but he's got too many demons.
Okay. Mr. Beast.
Billionaire.
Yeah. Ethan Klein.
You know I used to work with him?
Really?
Yeah.
Doing what?
I used to be in the videos back in the day. I thought that's why you brought it up.
Sick. No, I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Ethan Klein?
Yeah.
You don't know any of these names. You're just saying.
I mean, I feel
these
like
are the biggest YouTubers out there. So you got to
I guess I'm not on
do
YouTube.
some Googling.
All right.
Ethan
The fact that you didn't know Andrew Tate, I was like, she's not going to know anything.
No, I knew.
She knows Logan Paul, maybe.
Go ahead.
Just keep doing your gorgeous little model thing.
Continue.
Keep whitening them teeth. You look great. Don't worry about it.
Shout out Dr. Morgan.
Ethan Klein?
Sell out.
Sell out. All right, last two things, and we're talking about more ideologies. The red pill.
Just one word?
Yeah.
Truth.
Feminism.
Gay.
Heather, you can answer that one. Feminism.
I feel like it's gotten too extreme in modern day.
Okay.
Well, it's a one-word association, right?
Yeah.
Extreme.
Extreme. Okay. Look at him advocating rules. He wants rules. Society's built on rules.
Traditional values.
Traditional values. He
We
wants
need
rules.
God back. We need to send the asteroid.
I don't know.
Miami's a degenerate place. There's too much hedonism.
Are you doing a Tate impersonation?
No, go ahead. Yeah.
That was a good impersonation.
Yeah, I thought it was.
Can you do it one more time?
My unmatched purse capacity matched with my sheer indefatigability makes me a feared opponent in any human endeavor.
It's actually
really
perspicacity
good.
and the
Perspicacity.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's amazing.
Sorry.
All right, let's get to some super chats. We'll wrap up. I know that our producers want to pay some bills. Let's get to some super chats.
Okay.
We'll get out of here.
All right, so we have a good amount of super chats, so I'm just going to blow
Go
right through them
fast,
really quick.
read their names, their numbers, and let's do it.
We'll start from highest up. We have Slow and Fidel, 100. Thank you. He said, I'm an older man, president of 2 companies. Anytime SNEAKO's on there, I'm watching because he's really the only guy out there with balls, and he has haters because he's the truth.
Thanks, man. You can send me that 100 if you want. But no, producers. Whatever.
And then we have another one. It said, I started watching 5 minutes ago, and all I see is the live chat with the host and SNEAKO. Why is the majority of the chat siding with SNEAKO? So that was one. We have, for SNEAKO, what's your 5 to 10 plan on growing success? Also, will you be able to fresh and fit 1 million party when SNEAKO, W for SNEAKO, W for Tate Brothers?
Yeah, I'll be at the 1 mil party. Don't do anything weird when I'm there. And 5-10-year plan is continue spreading the truth and trust the process. I'm seeing good things happen to people that have been extremely canceled. You'll hear about it very soon. But the most canceled man on the internet is making big waves.
Awesome. Then we have Anais Suab. Economy in the U.S. is rigged. America's on its way out. The economy will crash. There is no morality or law or religion. Plus, YouTube censored the truth like retweet. Then we have another one that says Adam is missing SNEAKO's points. He's listening. He's not listening with his mouth and with his ears. He's listening with his mouth.
I was listening. I took that class
I knew
in
you were
college. I
listening.
think I was getting a lot of
Don't
SNEAKO's
worry.
points. You think I was listening or no?
I think you were thinking about the next topic, and this is why podcasts, I think, are better without cards. I think it's better to have a free-flowing conversation, because you were structuring it like, and this is what we're going to talk about now. So a couple of the points that we could have construed on more.
Sure, but how do you want me to go through all those timestamps, some Tate things, without memorizing them?
You could have watched it and then brought it up in conversation.
No, I don't got that kind of memory, bro. I'm just fucking timestamp, boom, boom, boom.
Quick. Then we have another one that says, to clarify, a high-value woman is only possible if she's with a high-value man. A woman can't be high-value by herself. Men decide which women are valuable. And that was from Chris. Then we have another one from Uncle Luke. I remember you, Uncle Luke. We remember you.
Uncle Luke. We love that,
Luke,
Uncle
you're
Luke.
back. He said Miami's a cesspool with when it comes to dating ladies, just like the hometown New York. Chai and most liberals ran cities, but Florida overall is great. We love that, Uncle Luke. Then we have, I don't know if it's the real Fresh, but Fresh Prince. He said just not cool, just straight up. Then we have another one.
Wait, Fresh Prince CEO?
Yes.
No.
He said not cool?
Yeah.
Damn, Fresh.
Yeah. So that's what he said, but we'll go to the next one. Then we have another one said...
because you called him a misogynist, probably.
Yeah.
He said, yeah. Then we have another one. You're trying to get SNEAKO. It's corny. Then we have another one by Doc Cock. He said, Adam 1, SNEAKO 1, LMAO. Then we
Adam
have
1, SNEAKO 1. I think the audience won.
Yeah,
I think everyone realized a
won.
little bit more about all three of us today.
Absolutely. Then we have from Sandra, do you not see what happened in today's society with fathers not being around very much? There is consequences to the fathers not being in the homes. Then we have another one. Tate said it jokingly, you have exposed that he has kids and he has to get eye surgery. Then we have another one from Doc Hancock. He said, fire interview, SNEAKO, not letting Adam get off easy. Nice little banter.
Yeah, that's fine.
Poor Adam.
Then we had Zeus. He said Bill Clinton cheated on Hillary, just in case you didn't know.
FYI. Breaking news. Breaking news, everybody. Bill Clinton cheated on Hillary. Also, Trump may have cheated on Melania. I don't know.
And the other ladies, too. Then we have Ronald Reed, content creators support one another. We have another one from Sandra. She said, Shaq still lost his wife and upset with his kids. He regrets it because he said it wasn't worth what he lost. And then adding to that, Shaq is also biggest regret was cheating on his wife. SNEAKO wins all day. You'll get there, kid. Yo, SNEAKO, thanks for borrowing me your Lamborghini Ferrari. P.S. The creativity kit, it's worth it. And that's from Wami.
No problem, Brody.
Nice.
Respect. What's the creativity kit? Give it a plug.
Yeah.
The Creativity Kit is my course where I teach people how to make money online and all the lessons I've learned from 10 years of content creation, making an online business. And there's a course there. It's good. There's a lot of videos from me and my editor and other people that I've added. But also, I think the most beneficial part is the community. The best business relationship that I've made have all been online. And it's very difficult for people to find that network if they're not already famous or they don't have a YouTube channel. So I think the best access is that the fact that we have 3 calls a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 4 p.m. And you could talk to a lot of people in there that are also trying to hustle and make it out. A lot of people, there's testimonies being made. So there's one guy I was talking to last night that's making $5,000 a month now from this course.
Nice.
So if you want to go and network and meet other like-minded people, join the Creativity Kit.
The biggest thing I took away with that is SNEAKO's been making YouTube content for a decade.
Yeah.
You're 24 years old? 25? Yeah. So you've been doing this since you're 14.
Before my voice dropped. Before my balls dropped, I was making
Talk
about feminism in my room.
Okay. Last couple now. Read the best ones and let's
go. Last couple, it says, at the beginning, Liko looked like a girl boy from Thailand, but we already saw that.
It's fucked up, bro.
Yeah, that's really fucked up. Then we have this last one from Gus. Feelings about Brian Nguyen winning a Miss America beauty pageant. Does the lady want to get married? What are you working on to find that man you want? I'm not sure about that one. And then we have, we'll leave this one, the last one, the banger. Shout out to Mommy Chula, Natalia. We love you. Thank you for the super chats.
Mommy Chula, Natalia.
We appreciate your super chats today. And we have one more I will actually read. SNEAKO, when will you be in Dubai for Tate interview? And that's the last one.
Very soon, maybe next week or in 2 weeks.
Awesome. Well, that's it for super chats. I believe I caught them all. I hope you guys aren't roasting me because I got them all. I
Thank you. All right, guys, this is the end. And what we do here on the Soscast is we do something at the end called the happy ending.
Yay.
Pun intended. So this is where we want to get your final thoughts, what you want the people out there to take away from your message, what you want your legacy to be, all that, then some, where they can find you or not find you in some cases these days. Go ahead, ladies first. What do you want the people to know? You've got a camera, right? Where's the camera? Right there?
Straight
Let
ahead.
them know.
I just think that if we replace cancel culture with more empathetic conversations like we're having today, the world will be a much better place. And if we really take time to listen to what people are saying and what their true intentions are without just canceling them because they don't agree with, let's say, your political views or whatever it may be, just taking the time to listen to people, that's my biggest takeaway from the conversation we had today.
Sick.
And if you want to find me, Heather
yes.
Lee O'Keefe on Instagram, TikTok, till they kick me off.
Heather Lee O'Keefe on all platforms.
Yep.
All right, the one and only SNEAKO, a.k.a. SNEAKO, a.k.a. Nico? Is your real name?
No, Hubert.
Hubert?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh.
Rumble.com/SNEAKO and thecreativitykit.com. Also, I'm on Instagram @SNEAKO. Thank you, Zuck. Please don't ban me. Elon, let me get back on Twitter if you're really about free speech.
I mean, Elon, he follows
Free
the show.
Alex Jones. Free Ye. Free Nick Fuentes. That's all.
That's where those are your people.
Free Trump.
Free Trump.
Yes.
This is a weird question. Last question. You ever played Fuck, Marry, Kill? You played that before? But
of course.
We're going to play that in the man version. So we'll just say I don't know, just you extrapolate handshake, bro hug, and kill, whatever. The three names you keep mentioning, Alex Jones, Ye, and Nick Fuentes. Fuck, marry, kill, those three.
You can do handshake, I got your back, and then I'll kill you.
Yeah, handshake,
you.
bro hug.
Yeah.
I kill you.
Or I got your back.
Okay, handshake, hug, kill.
Yes.
Of those three.
Handshake, hug, kill. Exactly.
I want to shake hands with Ye. I'll give Nick Fuentes a hug. And guess, damn, we're killing Alex Jones. Alex Jones, I'm sorry.
Alex.
I'm sorry.
Well, he owes $1 trillion to the Sandy Hook family, and he should have to pay it, in my opinion.
Alex Jones will kill you and then just repeat everything you talk about.
There it was.
I'll steal your message.
I appreciate it.
Turn the freaking frogs gay.
I appreciate you guys being on. Heather, I think you're gorgeous. What I always say is the most important quality of a woman is her beauty, the outer beauty and also the inner beauty, and I think that you're embodying that. So keep doing you, girl.
Thank you.
No more Miss America pageants, though, for you.
Well, Miss USA.
Miss USA. My apologies. Here's what I will say about SNEAKO. I think he's a very necessary voice. I think he should not be canceled. I think that the things that he's talking about are things that should be spoken about. And I think that if you disagree with him, disagree with him. I don't think you should be deplatforming people. I don't think that you should be deplatforming anybody unless they're inciting violence. I don't think you're advocating any violence. Nothing I've heard has been violent. So I think you should just keep doing what you're doing. I think keep growing, keep improving. And I do look forward to moderating and hosting a debate with Destiny. I think that will be a sick fucking turnout here in South Florida. If you want tickets, check in with Valuetainment. We'll figure that out. You'll make a cut of that, so there'll be some money. And give the guy a follow on Rumble. I think it's well-deserved. I don't think there's anything that you're doing is that should be deplatformed. That's my opinion, so much respect. To everybody out there watching, we appreciate you. Straight up, we do this every single Thursday and Friday. Special guests coming in, popping in. Next week is actually Thanksgiving, so we will not be doing it on Thursday and Friday, but we stand by for, I think we're doing it on Tuesday. Mm-hmm. We'll do a sick show then. But if you have not subscribed, please subscribe. Please keep tuning into everything we're doing at Valuetainment, multiple channels, my podcast, PBD's podcast, Jedediah's podcast, Vinny's podcast, all the short clip channels. We've got collectively, I don't know, 10 million subscribers across all our different platforms. So, you know, if you're not subscribed, you're fucking missing the whole point here. Anyway, keep improving, keep chasing your purpose, and obviously save that money. We'll see you guys next time. Soscast, we out. Thank you.
Peace.